Hey South Asia Valorant players, I'm Sean Garris.
It's Kusta.
And Michael from Genji Valorant here with some really exciting news.
We have teamed up with LG Ultragear and the Esports Club for Season 2 of the Gauntlet.
The winner of Tec Gauntlet Season 2 will receive an exclusive one-on-one mentoring session with our Valorant team to help identify areas of improvement in their game to prepare for a higher level of gameplay.
In addition to that, we're going to be reacting to some of the top plays throughout this competition. Guys, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so make sure you don't miss out on this. Good luck to everyone competing from everyone here at Genji Valorant.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the LG Ultragear Tec Gauntlet Season 2, powered by W Black and AMD Ryzen Radiant, as we are back for day number 3 of the playoffs for the LG Ultragear Tec Gauntlet. And honestly, I'm really excited for this one. It's going to be your boy Aggressive, joined by Crips. It's been a long time, my buddy. And of course, Universe. Joining both of them combined, make it the Crispy Universe. But hey, enough of the jokes, enough of the beefs. Let's head on down over onto today's fixtures. And I want to ask you, Crips, as you did come back after a pretty long time, how do you feel about these matchups, man? Because Team EXO versus Force One being right off the get-go, it's going to be a pretty exciting match, that's for sure.
I am pretty excited about EXO versus F1. Both these teams have been performing well, especially F1. The way these guys have stepped up in the last few months, it is ridiculous. We knew that they are a deadly team already. We saw the performance in Season 1 playoffs, although there were a few bumps here and there. But the way these guys have been playing in the group stages of Season 2, it's like they're a completely new team. They have been reinvigorated, reborn like a phoenix of sorts. And I think they might have been saving something or the other for the playoffs, maybe a couple of strats under their sleeves, maybe an ace in the hole. I think they will unleash it if the time is right against Team EXO. Or maybe they'll keep on saving it for some other team. Who knows? But I know for a fact there are some secrets that we don't know about, and F1 is hiding them from us. I just wanted to find out what they are.
Force One as a team, they have gone through a lot of iterations and a lot of changes themselves, but now I'm a little bit worried because Force One, they've been having a lot of consistency problems themselves. Hopefully, they will be able to take down EXO because EXO as a team, they know what they're doing. They know exactly how they're going to be playing a lot of those different engagements, and they are a very strong and potent team moving on down the line here. So I do believe that Force One, they have their work cut out for them. But at the same time, before we talk a little bit more about the teams, let's head on down over to the updated MVP standings and see exactly who's going to be at the very top, who has been tearing up the server the most. And Paradox, he made his way back up here, man. Universe, we were talking about this previously. We were a little bit worried that Paradox is not going to make it up here. But hey, he has this position regardless.
Oh yeah, he absolutely does, and I love watching, SK Rossi, Paradox. These two are, really, they're like such dynamically aggressive players that you just cannot take your eyes off them even for 1 second, because that's all they need to change the outcome of a round or the entire game, right? And SK Rossi, well, he's just clearly, you can see, a level above anybody else on this panel of 4, because 398 kills, 263 deaths, 65 assists, 294 ACS, 9 MVPs, and he's not done yet, ladies and gentlemen. He's gonna cross that 400 mark, maybe the 500 mark. Who knows how far he can go? And not to forget, even Paradox. He had both of these teams are in the lower brackets now. But yeah, these players are gonna cause some havoc down there. But not to forget, there is one player that we are gonna be watching today, and that is Knight Rider, and he's in the 3rd position, and he's had a pretty good season individually as well. So he also could, potentially overtake Paradox, go to the 2nd position. However, he feels like playing today. But yeah, F1, they need him to perform to his best so that they have a chance against EXO, because EXO have also been, pretty much of a dominant force.
Yeah, EXO's one of those teams that are really difficult to overcome if you don't know exactly what you are trying to go up against here. And Force One, hopefully they did their homework and they were able to fix a lot of the problems that they had previously. So let's head on down over onto the brackets to see exactly where the teams are, who have moved up and down yesterday, and how the brackets are going to be looking moving on down the line, depending on who went out here. So the side of EXO versus Force One as the first initial match. For the 8 p.m. game, we're going to have Enigma versus Team Valor. And whoever wins out here will be the one going up against Reckoning. Yesterday, Universe, we saw the most incredible game coming on down through from the side of Reckoning, be able to take down Trippers on a 2-0. Grims, you were not there, but I'm pretty sure you heard the news, because Reckoning, these guys are possibly the biggest dark horse in our entire tournament, and they are the ones who could possibly just take away the #1 position by themselves if they're able to take down either EXO or Force One.
Well, that really is music to my ears. They've been doing well so far, and I was just waiting for the moment when these guys actually rose up to the top and when they were given the credit that they deserved. Now that they will be facing the winner of EXO versus F1, I think they can bring their true colors forward. You see, against True Rippers, they're the kind of team that likes to play a little in a YOLO fashion. They like to just play off of their instincts and just do whatever their gut tells them. EXO and F1, on the other hand, are a little more disciplined than that. So Reckoning will have to bring their A game to the table.
Yep. The thing about the side of EXO and Force One, they're very two different teams. One team relies a lot more on dynamics, and another team relies a lot more on strategy. So the best comparison that I would give for Force One is that they're trying to copy a lot of the methods being employed by Enigma Gaming. They are still trying to get there. They're still trying to work out the kinks, but they're just not there yet. And after a lot of the issues that happened with the roster internally, I really do hope that they're still going to be able to stick together and bring something that's worth showing down onto the table. Because against EXO, you cannot falter for even a second, because if you do, you're going to get taken down a notch and possibly just kicked out of this entire tournament entirely. Because when you look at what's down there in the lower brackets, you really don't want to go there, because both of these teams, they're out for blood, and they're going to be the ones looking to serve up a revenge story that's going to be best served up cold. But for now, let's head on down over towards the side of the team intro for EXO, ladies and gentlemen, and see exactly who's going to be tearing up the server from their side. And Universe, I want your thoughts on the roster, starting from all the way from the top, all the way to the very bottom.
I mean, this is a roster that I think needs no introduction. It's really clear that these guys have been on a roll since the beginning of this tournament. They had a little bit of a down, but I think that was just a once. EXO have shown that they're a very tightly knit unit, and their rise to the top, along with a lot of bumps in the road, has been pretty impressive, because this is a team that has stuck together, except for the one addition of Ghost being in there. But Blackhawk, Excali, Sai, and Wimp have been together for quite a bit of time now, from the time they were known as Samurai Esports. And this is the stage where they lost last time in the season 1.
Yep.
And I really hope that they go much further ahead this time around, because they have the potential, they have the strats. We know that they're trying stuff that's different. Sai switching up his role as the more of a support kind of role. He plays a sentinel, he plays the controller if need be, whatever it is, he plays it on. We've got Blackhawk, the ever so humble but also the dangerous controller that we have as the Astro or the Omen, whatever he plays for that matter, and Wimp as the initiator. It's a really defensive trifecta of these three players that allows Excali and Ghost to be as aggressive as possible, and that's exactly how this team functions. They allow some people to be so aggressive, but at the same time they're supported from the back end. So it's like they have a very flexible way of playing. They are aggressive pretty much most of the time, but when it comes to holding down their ground, they've got Sai, Wimp, and Blackhawk to do that. And I think that this team, could possibly take it all the way. You never know.
Yeah, Team Exo, they can do a lot. They can tear up the server, but at the same time, as a team, they do tend to fall a little bit short from time to time when it comes down to the team play and coordination. Hopefully that's not going to happen. And let's see who's going to be the one to uplift the entire team through the player spotlight here, ladies and gentlemen, for the side of Team Exo, powered by none other than AMD Ryzen Radeon. And Trips, I'm going to ask you about the IGL, the pseudo IGL from time to time. Sai himself going on to the Sova now, not on his usual jet pick, because that is the primary pick now being taken by Ghost. What do you think he's going to be playing a lot more, the Sova or the Killjoy? Because we have seen him shift between these two roles quite often.
We have seen him shift between all roles except for the controller.
Yep.
He used to be the Jet / the Phoenix guy. I mean, him and Excali used to be the two duelists of the team. And then he moved on to Killjoy. If that didn't work out, he moved on to Sova. And he's worn so many hats. It's unimaginable how good and how versatile this player is. Back when I was a kid, my cricket coach used to tell me that good bowlers become better batsmen because, you can understand what goes on in the mind of the other one. And because this guy has worn all the hats, I think this guy can understand what it is to be like in the shoes of his teammates. So he gets the backup and he provides the backup without even asking for it. At one point, he will start communicating telepathically.
Hey, a couple of years into the future, and suddenly he's gonna be able to do it. And Excali's like, "Wait, how are you talking into my mind? And you're not even using Discord or even TeamSpeak for any of that measures." But hey, ladies and gentlemen, that's Sai for you. He's one of the greatest minds that we can have on the server to allow his teammates to do a lot of the things that they are truly capable of. And him being on the initiator, he can make calls, he can set up plays, and he is gonna be the one that you look to make sure that Excali is going to be popping off. Ghost is going to be popping those heads as well. He's going to make it all happen with his Sova from time to time, swapping it out with Wim depending on whichever map they are playing. And at the same time, we got to talk a little bit more about their competition as well. So let's head on down over onto the team intro for the side of Force One, ladies and gentlemen, and see exactly who they're going to be cooking up for us. Because this roster universe, I personally do love the roster, but after what I heard recently, I really hope that this is not going to deter them from bringing their best performance here.
I mean, we can only hope for the best, right? We've got a lineup of players who have shown potential more so than anybody else, I feel. And, I think this is a team that's probably come the closest to taking down the likes of Global and Velocity in last season. They've placed third, and they gave a lot of fight. But in the end, it was just not enough. And now Force One, they're surviving in this tournament, but I don't know for how long, basis of whatever is going on under their hood. But yeah, I really hope that they give up a performance today that everybody can remember what Force One is like, and yeah, they take us all the way to a third map. That's the best we can hope for, and that's what we probably will see, because this is a lineup of people who've got explosivities, who've got dynamics, who've got a lot of control. They're amazing, these group of individuals, and I hope that Force One can showcase that today to the best of their abilities.
Yeah, Force One, hopefully they're going to be able to pull off something incredible, because going up against EXO and the roster that they have, it's just not going to be that simple. But at the same time, let's see who's going to be shining the brightest from the side of Force One, ladies and gentlemen, as we head on down over onto their player spotlight, powered by none other than AMD Ryzen Radeon, and see exactly who's going to be the one to tear up the server the most. And it's going to be none other than Knight Rider. And Crips, Knight Rider as a player, he doesn't need a lot of introductions, but at the same time, hey, it's our job. We got to put the spotlight on him and ride him and pull him.
Honestly, sometimes I don't get what this guy wants. Like, does he want to be the opper who holds all the angles and plays a very nice and methodical playstyle? Or is he the crazy guy who has a little bit of aggression in his veins and a little bit of anger on his nostrils that wants to just go ahead and frag out? I honestly don't get it because he's like a hairline trigger. He keeps on switching between the two. There is no in between for Knight Rider. And if he's got the backup of someone like Shivy, in the form of either a Breach or a Sky, even a Sova for that matter, if he's got that backup, this guy is unstoppable. I've seen rounds where he sometimes becomes the duelist and liberates an entire site, while on the same time, he is actually running a lurk and his team is on the other end of the map. So, what are you? What do you want to be? You just give him the jet and he can become everything. He can be the wind as, not even the wind. He can be as fluid as water. He's that versatile.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Like, he can be just as fluid as water, and then you just took the words out of my mouth. That's Knight Rider for you, ladies and gentlemen. This guy can fit any role depending on which situation he's in. He can be anything for his own team, depending on if he's on that jet and, of course, on that Sage. Both of these characters are built for this man, and sometimes he picks up that Brimstone and just becomes an entry fragger Brimstone of absolutely nowhere. That's Knight Rider for you, and sometimes he can pull off incredible plays like that. But at the same time, these are just both of the teams. They are going to be the ones that duking it up against one another. But at the same time, we got to figure out what exactly the battlefield is going to look like as well for these two squads. So let's head on down over towards the map video screen and see exactly which of these maps have been picked up for us. And what treats are we going to be seeing? And Team EXO going right off the bat with the map of Split. Universe. It's a little bit of an interesting pickup because Team EXO, yes, they're really well known for their split strategies now. But trying to pick this map right at the start may be a problematic situation for them.
I mean, you have to consider the fact that EXO, like you said, they have had good strats on Split now, and they feel confident with it, and they want to go ahead with it. That's okay, but the thing about this map is that Force One are not too bad themselves. We've seen them particularly perform on Split more so better than a lot of teams, leaving out the exception of Global, I feel. And the fact of the matter is that Team EXO, they have a really interesting composition. They're the team that picks up a KO on this map, and that's Sai, and he's been in the spotlight today as well. So I really hope that they have, a set game plan. They're not going to try to overthink things. They're going to go with what they know F1 to be and what they know themselves to be, because Haven is going to be a lot more of a different story than Split. I feel like Split is going to be more in-your-face, dynamic, blown up, or it's going to be either a landslide victory or it's probably going to go all the way to 13-11 or maybe overtime, 13-10. It's not going to be, and nothing in between. Okay? And I think Haven is a map where F1, if they have a chance of winning Haven, I feel it's probably lesser than Split, because I think that if Force One win out the first map, by any stretch of the imagination, then we can see this go to a third map. But if EXO pick up map 1, then I don't think this is going anywhere to a third map.
Yeah, that's one of the main reasons why I was thinking that Split is kinda lackluster pickup from the side of Team EXO, because in a way, Force One should be able to take them out on that map, but Haven being picked up as the second, yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, especially when EXO are very well known for their Haven plays, and they're constantly evolving their strategies depending on what they see from a lot of the other teams. Right off the bat, though, the screens look a little bit questionable, but at the same time, it can work out as well if and only if the side of Force One is able to take map number 1. Chris, do you have any more closing thoughts before I send you to over down to the caster's desk?
Honestly, all my thoughts are overshadowed by fear. Why would you pick Split against Team F1? That to let them have the defense side. Just, it's kind of like asking for it, kind of like a little bit of a suicide mission. I hope EXO know what they're doing. So yeah, I just wish them all the best.
Yeah, honestly, the stage has been set, and a little bit of question mark coming on down through from analysts as well. So you never know what's going to happening down inside of the match, ladies and gentlemen. But for now, hey, that's all that we have for you for now. On the analyst desk, we're going to be starting up the game. I know you guys are getting all about it in chat. So I'm going to be sending these two down over towards the casters. And we're going to be back shortly with the LG Ultragear TC Gauntlet Season 2, powered by WD Black and AMD Ryzen Radiant, after a short word from our sponsors.
Hey, South Asia Valorant players, I'm Sean Garris.
It's Kusta.
And Michael from Genji Valorant here with some really exciting news.
We have teamed up with LG Ultragear and the Esports Club for Season 2 of the Gauntlet.
The winner of Tec Gauntlet Season 2 will receive an exclusive one-on-one mentoring session with our Valorant team to help identify areas of improvement in their game to prepare for a higher level of gameplay.
In addition to that, we're going to be reacting to some of the top plays throughout this competition. Guys, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so make sure you don't miss out on this. Good luck to everyone competing from everyone here at Genji Valorant.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the TEC Gauntlet Season 2, powered by WD Black and AMD Ryzen Radeon, presented by LG Ultragear. We are here for the playoffs, and it's been a crazy bit of matches that we saw yesterday. And today, we've got just as much crazy coming your way. Me, alongside my main man, Crips, are here to derive and tell you the entire story, what's going to be online today. And it's EXO and the side of Force One to be the main heroes and protagonists, antagonists, whoever you want to call it, of the stories today. And Crips, I just want to ask you one question. We've seen the history of both of these teams in the season so far. There's been some ups, there's been some downs. Force One have had a little bit of change, in their own roster that we're probably going to be coming on here and there. And you've got EXO, who's looking a lot more solid than they ever have. So do you think this is EXO's best chance to, take a step forward in the right direction?
I think this is their best chance. This is not the strongest opponent that they have faced before, but they are giving away the advantage to Force One by letting them have their map pick. So that kind of concerns me a little bit.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a problem. F1 need to be a little careful here. I think they should be one last push to the finish line, right? Give it your all. They have nothing to lose. Is just go all at it, and you never know what could come out of their team because I think that you're the one who said it first. As a person who has nothing to lose is probably the most dangerous, right? And this is an entire team which has nothing to lose. and they can just go all out and finish up, anything and everything. They can take us by surprise on split if they try to put on, a different agent composition, or they can probably try different strategies, be all out aggressive, throw everything in the face of EXO, give them something to think about as to how they can counter this, and then immediately shift back to, a really defensive approach. They can do anything they want over here, Force One, and I think that this is a match where EXO need to be more careful in terms of having this having this match to be lost out, because this is where it went wrong. They did lose out last season against Force One in the lower brackets as Samurai, and I think this is sort of a revenge story that they should be brewing up. Do you think it's possible that we see a revenge story today?
Maybe, maybe not. Honestly, at this point, I don't think revenge is the motivating factor for any of these teams right now. This is the opening match of the Gauntlet playoffs, and you want to do your best to get as far as you can in the Gauntlet. I mean, sure, the majority of the prize pool will be taken away by the winner, but there's still something or the other to be won by the second and third place teams. So you don't
Yeah.
want to go out just yet. You worked so hard over the last few months just to get to the playoffs, and it would be really, really heartbreaking if you go out right now without putting up a decent fight.
That is true. They really need to show that, EXO and all of their, efforts that they've put in so far are not for nothing, right? They need to show that they are a team that should be considered among the very best, that goes along the lines of VLT or global esports. Force One did that the last time around. They did it at the lower bracket finals. They had it till the third place, and this time EXO has a chance to do that as well. So yeah, we're gonna see how it all turns out. But what I'm interested in to see is the composition of the teams, as we're gonna see a KO definitely in the hands of Sai. That's exactly what he loves to play on this map of Split. And Raze might come out in the hands of Excali, but I want to know, how do you think F1 is gonna line up? Do you think they might do something different?
Not really. Cypher's gonna be in the hands of RVK. Just as always, Knight Rider's gonna pick up the jet. Yeah, what Shivi does is something I wanna keep my eyes on. Usually on Split, he picks up either the Breach or the Sky. I don't
Yeah,
think he'll pick up the Sova. The only person who I have seen pick up the Sova on Split is Kappa,
yeah.
and that too did not end too well for him. But I want to see if these guys try to experiment and maybe pick up a KO and maybe steal a page out of EXO's book. I don't think that will happen, but hey, we might get to see something new. Even if we don't, I don't think I'll be disappointed.
Yeah, it's just that the gravity of this big matchup is more than enough to keep us glued, keep our eyes glued to the screens, because we're gonna start up this match any second now, ladies and gentlemen. But it's been a hell of a road for both of these teams. F1 and EXO have had a pretty great season so far. They've qualified, and they also have other competitors that they have lost out to in the same bracket, right? We remember Valor and EXO, sorry, True Rippers and EXO was a match that I think a lot of people would remember. True Rippers actually beat out EXO in the group stages, and there is a chance that they could face them again if they go to the lower brackets, or however it works out. But there's a lot of different storylines, just like multiple timelines that we've got over here. Anytime anybody loses one match, they're facing off another opponent that they either have a history with, or they've been beaten by really badly. Everything's just up and down over here. But Crips, I want to ask you, we see that one of these teams is going to face Reckoning in the next round, right? And if we see EXO and Reckoning face off each other, Reckoning is a team that's gone leaps and bounds beyond anything that I think anybody expected. People thought, okay, you know what, they're probably going to get third or fourth place, but they ended up first in their group, right? Do you think that EXO could be faltered by Reckoning in case they make it through?
I think a bigger challenge will be coming up against EXO. If they do make it past EXO, I think that F1 will be able to take on Reckoning without too many problems. On paper, obviously, EXO are the stronger team, even though the points might say otherwise. But Reckoning have been phenomenal this season. I mean, I spoke about how F1 Esports have improved over the course of season 2, but Reckoning, these guys have just gone above and beyond everyone's expectations. So
Yeah.
yeah, maybe I could be wrong. I haven't seen Reckoning in action, at least from what I heard from Aggressive. He said that it looks like a completely different team, and I haven't seen them personally yet. I haven't casted the new Reckoning's game just yet, so maybe I'll be surprised when I see them against Reckoning. But first, first problem at hand. So you need to tackle the opponent in front of you right now. You need to focus all your attention on EXO.
Yeah, that is true. Now, I love the play style of EXO just because they love being so aggressive, and I don't think we've seen any other team be as aggressive. They have been. I think we have seen teams that are aggressive, but these guys are hell-bent on being aggressive pretty much every other round. We see these mid pushes coming from Excali, Sai, and Wimp, I believe. When they do it towards the mid, in the mid position in split, right? We've seen it multiple times. They've done it in eco. They've done it when they've got a semi-buy of sorts. They try to put the pressure on the teams so that they split across into two avenues. They have the A and the B, and they've even got somebody stacked up on B to hold down the line, and that's probably going to be Blackhawk with, I don't know, a Bucky or a shotgun or a Judge, whatever it is. He's there as well. So I love the playstyle of EXO. And now for the playstyle of Force One, though, I feel like, Knight Rider's opping skills are really important for this team, because I feel like if he's not around for too long as, that impactful player, it could affect their playstyle. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a little bit dicey, because if they start relying a bit too much on Knight Rider, then it is a problem. Keep in mind that this is the one player who I said doesn't know how to make up his mind. He sometimes likes to opt from, passive angles. Sometimes he tries to play aggressively in their enemies' faces. And those are two very contradictory play styles, which can yield him results or they won't. I mean, he's
Yeah.
not as consistent as someone like Excali or Sai or Wimp for that matter, who's been turning out to be very good this season. So if they rely too much on Knight Rider and his ability to pick off people, then that might be bad.
Yeah, that might be bad, and we really need to consider how exactly it's all going to turn out. And yeah, we've got the Asian selections coming up, and there it is. Shivy is this time going for the Sky. No breach. It's going to be against the other initiator on the side of EXO, and that's a KO. As expected, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Ghost on the Sage. We've got Blackhawk with the Omen. Wimp going to be picking up either the Killjoy or the Cypher any second now. Unless he wants to go for another controller. No, it's not going to be the case. Excali being the explosive one, he's right up front about his duelist role, and he's got to face off against Rafa. And Knight Rider going to be picking up the Sage. Now, this is an interesting lineup because you can see it right there. There's no Sentinel or perhaps direct Sentinel. It's a pseudo Sentinel in the form of Sage, and they've got two controllers here, Crips. And I'm not quite sure how exactly this is going to work out, because a Viper and an Astra, both of them have a unique skill set, right? One of whom cannot move their smokes. The other one has to play like a pseudo Sentinel of sorts. So, the Viper Sage is kind of like canceling out each other. But the Astra has got a much more varied skill set than the Omen. And being the only controller on the side of EXO, do you think the controller difference might make a little bit of a difficult time for them?
Not really. I mean, it could be a difficult task because the Omen is starting out on the attacking side, right? Now, once they move over to defense, this Omen will be able to place one-way smokes, which are absolutely crucial in a map like Split. Now, that's something that the Astra can't do, and that's the biggest controller difference.
Yeah, I think you are right. We're gonna see a lot of different, avenues come up today as to how exactly, we can see controllers being used, and it's gonna be no one better than to look at for Blackhawk, RVK, and Scarguard. And as we head in, ladies and gentlemen, here's Force One against EXO, and we've got EXO on the attack, trying to already dissect the mid side.
This could be problematic. It has been halted almost immediately. No trades just yet, but look at the amount of utility that has been expended. But there could be an interception. Scarguard on his way, but gets peeked by 5 people. RVK, poor man, has to do as much as he can, but he's getting swarmed by all these people.
RVK!
Poison dart, it actually helps him get a kill, and he's getting away with a lot more than one would have asked of him. This is amazing. He single-handedly brings the round back, maybe.
Probably. We got Knight Rider to hold on to this push coming in, but he goes down. Wimp gets the better of him. There is a Killjoy still available on the side of the attackers, so hope not lost in terms of post-plant positions at least. They've got 3 grenades to work with. They're just gonna have to take this a little bit slowly. Sai takes contact, but it's gonna be Wimp to get the third, and it is only Rafa left. Oh boy. They think he's on the flank, but he's on the rafters position, and he
30
hears all of the
seconds left.
sounds. And now he sees Sai throwing in his grenade.
Enemy
He's gonna get the
remaining.
1 kill, but it's gonna be Wimp to trade it out. 2v1 when both of them peak is just not easy at all. And with a really interesting and chaotic pistol round, it's gonna be the side of EXO to pull it out in the very last bits of their life left. It's a little bit of a scare that came in, but that's okay. The one thing about that round was, though, RVK and Scargod, they pushed up towards A main. Scargod, unfortunately, was caught completely off guard. But RVK, I don't know how this guy got a kill with that. I know that, you know, Blackhawk was pretty low, but he got a second, he got a third, and he put his team on a position to be in a much better use of getting that round, but did not happen. Now Sai, he's found out where Rafa is, and Ghost is looking for the positions where he could be in. He catches him with a nade in his hands, but it goes out anyway. Doesn't matter though, he's gone down as Wimp takes care of Scargod pushing up towards ropes, and we have pretty much of an easy round that should be going in the way of
Train
EXO.
harder.
Oh
We
no.
fought
How
Oh,
many eco
boy.
frags are they going to continue to get? This is ridiculous. All these rounds have become too expensive. Oh, I just hope that they're somehow able to mitigate the damage in some way.
Placing
But
swarm.
given the way things are going, I think EXO is still going to have a bad time. It's been a bonus round, sure. They don't have nothing to lose, but it's still problematic, right? Both the angles are now
Spike
being checked.
planted.
Shivy looking to make his way upstairs. With the Spectre in his hands, should be able to overpower the Coast in the hands of Wimp. But no, what? Wimp turns around. That's amazing. That's a shot and a half. And now he's done the job. The remaining 2 players have managed to sneak in post screens and they're into the side. But the plant is in the open. They should be able to defend it from heaven without any
Last
problems.
player
It's gonna
standing.
boil down to nothing but frag duels and just wins. Can I try to do it? He's been pummeled by bullets. This little cover is not going to protect him for too long, but he's got the heal online now. Unfortunately, no time, so this round is already done and dusted.
Pretty much so. He's being sent to the heavens with the wings that Blackhawk gave him, and it's gonna be the second of the map for
Speaking of-
EXO.
Speaking of wings, make sure you get your Red Bull cans. There will be the QR code flashing every now and then.
Yep. Please do check it out. You can get your Red Bulls and get yourself energized just like Team EXO are feeling so far. Has been a little bit of a scare from Knight Rider. He's continuing to give them, look at this, he was 30 HP, finds Ghost midair jumping, and the burst somehow still hits his head when all I could see were his legs. So yeah, Knight Rider's feeling it today, clearly. And again, with an aggressive wall towards A main, he's given EXO a little bit of a time to, because they have 3 players, they are still committed, not really pushed back, and Knight Rider's going for a good positioning for himself. I don't know if that's going to work out, though. They will definitely want to check this position, EXO. They've got 4 players now. And Sai's mid his way as well. And the second he turns around, Knight Rider... Oh, no. Excali's going to blow his head straight off. And the A side, just with that 1 kill, is busted out open, Crips.
Yeah, can't even blame him
You
though.
should
He was the
run.
only one on the side, so it makes sense for him to play a one-handed angle. Lockdown will make sure that they can plant the spike safely without anyone coming through, delaying the retake for as long as possible. But no, what?
Okay.
Rafa makes a little bit of a mistake over there, so that's an instant disadvantage for his team. Oh, by the way, for those of you confused, Unga Aya over here is obviously Rafa, if that wasn't clear
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah, it is Rafa. And Force 1 are now forced back to try and save the weapons that they have and maybe cause some economical damage, but it's not going to cause any damage because they're playing on the bonus round this one, EXO, and they're going to be happy with what they've got. 4 players surviving, hopefully, with a lot of more money and maybe 2 upgraded weapons that they can't pick up, I feel. Yeah, EXO, they're going to be going into the 4th round with a lot more money and better weapons without even having to invest too much. So pretty good start from them. And Force 1 are already looking like they're nervous over here, Quips. And not too good of a situation for them. Because you can see their buy. They've invested into it again because, well, they had 3 players alive. And now there's another shotgun and a Spectre on Knight Rider, which is not always a sign of good things to come.
Yeah, the economy does look a little shabby. They've seen better rounds, but I think the reason they lost this round is because of preemptive rotations. They had too much presence on mid, while all they had to deal with on mid was probably the presence of side. That's probably it. There was just one player on there, and there were so many people to deal with him. They had no men left to defend A. Well, this time they won't need a lot of men. They have committed the Viper's Pit towards the A site, so this should make things a little easier because RVK is inside his own kingdom. Everyone else on the side of Team EXO now starting to walk up towards mid. They're just knocking on the doors though, they're not trying to barge in just yet. They smoke in towards B Heavens. Oh, that was a fake smoke. Alright then, that was just a little bit of a brain game. Bamboozled me as well. Definitely must have bamboozled the side of Team F1 too. But now as they start to move in, Rafa's position could be of vital importance. But Tai pre-fires this angle. The paint shot also clearing out, so that makes sure that the judge has been negated. No more problems for them. They have 50 seconds left, one pick in the hands, and plenty of mid control. They can take their sweet time.
Yeah, they most certainly can, but what they don't know is that not coming in towards the B main is going to cause a little bit of an enigma over here. They spot out Knight Rider, but ScarGod is also here, so they need to check for two players on this B main position. They're not going to push in, so they're just limited to the side. They can take CT if they want, but not quite sure if they're going to. Knight Rider trying to put some pressure. Shivy coming in from B Heavens. He's going to get taken down. Sai is going to make short work of him. Blackhawk still trying to fight out B main. Not allowing them to enter, but he's taking a lot of bullets in return. Down to 62 HP, and RVK is coming on the backline to try and find Sai. He's got a wall in his way, which is going to go down any second, and Sai loses his life. 2v4, and they are not having a good time here, first one, but RVK is.
Oh, bait.
Second one, and that bait works out perfectly, and Knight Rider left all alone.
One dead.
Picks up the Mando, but there's nothing more he can do. Another round for EXO, and another round where Force One are forced to save.
That was a little unfortunate now, wasn't it? It was perfect. You would have never expected a second player to be there in the under heaven angle.
Yeah.
It works out perfectly as intended, and that was good trading too. For those of you who are wondering what's the difference between a good bait and a bad bait, this is the difference.
Indeed. A good bait is exactly what was down there into B Hell, right? This point, RVK, his aim is just so crispy. I love his aim, but I love that EXO have a counter for pretty much everything that F1 have been doing so far. Or rather, I should say that F1 have no counter for what EXO are doing. Finally, there's going to be something. Knight Rider is going to be able to make the Vandal work, but RVK gets a little too aggressive, ambitious, and he's going to get punished for that ambition. And now EXO, even though they're a man down, sorry, they could be a man down given if Knight Rider wants to revive RVK here. He's not going to have the opportunity to because there's players of EXO waiting here just for that opportunity to take down two players at once.
Yeah, and even with the presence of the barrier up, it's impossible to resurrect him because you can always climb up on top of that little box and get the angle onto the guy who just got rezzed. So, yeah, no safe angles for him. But now that they're trying to sneak up towards the B garage area, this could be interesting. There are 3 defenders on the B heavens. In fact, everyone's on mid. They have completely given up on A. So, F1 do have the correct read. They do know that EXO is not going to come to its A. But do they know exactly where they are? No, they don't. It's a little bit late. The plant will go down, but now every defender's coming in through the garage. Yeah, this could be big, unless Sai has something to say about it. Does he expect another one? I don't think he does. Still going to be looking towards B Heavens, and Shivy has the perfect opportunity. Oh, the flash was not that successful, but they get the kill nonetheless. Now both their position have been revealed, so no more surprises.
Yeah, and Excali's already taken out ScarGod, and Shivy with the Spectre at this range. Not gonna be as useful. Oh wait, he is! He takes down Wimp with a flick of the wrist, and here comes the ultimate from Excali. He's holding it down. Shivy knows where he is, and he's gonna take him down. That satchel! He heard the timing of that, and he knew that the ultimate is not gonna be in his hands. And Shivy clutches out the first round on the back of a technicality, a sound technicality, an audio cue that Shivy read perfectly, and that shows how good his mind is at reading things. Round 1 for Force 1.
Yeah. We said that Knight Rider was usually the default jet, but this time he's playing the Sage, and Shivy, of course, like the default initiator, his brain is in the right place, and he counters Excali. I was gonna say that it's a little bit of overkill to kill a guy on 4 HP with a showstopper, but now you can't even do that.
Did he know that, though? I mean, he should have known that, I feel, but I don't think he knew perfectly how much HP he was, but fair enough. I think he wanted to do it as an insurance policy. And the insurance company said, sorry, no claims available.
Yeah, they're all a scam, you know that. Either way, Ghost is able to pick up the 1 kill towards mid, so that eliminates all the possibility of them losing heavy control. And the tap from Wim is stylish. Oh my god. They also know about the position of Rafa, so him hiding over here really doesn't make sense. The one play that he can make is probably kill the spike carrier who's coming in from the spawn right now, but he won't even get the opportunity to see his face. What can the 2 remaining members do? They're falling like flies.
Yeah, there's nothing they can do. Knight Rider, no avenue to even revive a player here. I don't even think he'd want to. Blackhawk finally makes his way to the side, gets the plan down, and now in the 2v5. Okay, he doesn't choose to plan. He's gonna give it to Wim so that he can get an ultimate orb for the lockdown. And there it is, it comes down. And now it's time for the 2 players on the side of F1 to try and save their weapons, because I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a hunt coming in really soon. Excali's trying to go at it towards the attacking side spawn, but there's nobody there. And if somebody chooses to push in towards B Heavens and come down to where Knight Rider is, they probably could find his kill. But XR are being a little bit careful about this. They know that they want to save all 5 of their weapons, and they might just do it unless RVK makes a ambitious push yet again and goes for it. Sai, yeah, and now he's gonna get protected. RVK, oh no, he still knows him. He's there, but he doesn't want to go for it.
Yeah, why would you want to go down that narrow corridor over the knob? Either way, decent round for the side of Team EXO. The best part is they're chaining rounds together and they're getting all the exit kills. So now RVK doesn't get the money and he doesn't have his weapon. That's like a slap in the face right there. Even more economic damage inflicted. And the best part is EXO, not only are they winning rounds, they're able to chain the rounds together. So, you know, they can keep on getting the bonuses again and again. And many of their players survive, which means they don't have to keep on reinvesting in weapons. Take a look at Wimp. He's sitting at 5,000 credits already. Blackhawk and Sai, both of them are north of 3,000 credits. So that's healthy economic right there. The 2 weapons that have been saved by Team F1 won't be able to do too much because they don't have heavy armor. So single bullet should be able to deal with them, even with a Phantom at long range.
Yeah, we should believe that that single bullet should hit the head. Or else, we've known these 2 players to cause damage, and Knight Rider, he's had his moment so far. He can probably produce a few more. Sai, with the operator all alone over here, still no support close by, and he chooses not to push without it, as his team is surrounding him, and they are now playing to hit A. RVK with the most deadliest weapon that he can think of. He's holding the position over here towards A main. He gets jumped upon. Excali, what? Okay, Excali eats it right on the skull.
Nope.
Oh my god, Knight Rider, he could have probably gotten a kill over there, but a little unfortunate. Shivy, he's sneaked out, and actually Rafa gets a kill. Ghost goes down, takes another. Rafa and Shivy finds one as well. Oh boy, how did this fall apart? EXO, what did you do?
Left.
Yeah, that's the surprising part, right? All these rounds that F1 had the weapons, they couldn't do much, but then in this 50 round, they're able to pull out the big guns. And by the big gun, I meant the showstopper. Rafa pulled it out, destroyed the lockdown, and with it, he got a kill. Of course, RVK, the only man who was on the A side first, had a big job to do when 5 people were rushing him at the same time, but him managing to get a kill onto Excali was big. After that, in that 4 vs 4 situation, Force 1, they did not care about their lives. They just ran out of the smokes like madmen and got all the kills when Team EXO least expected it.
Yeah, and they've got taken on the round now. And I really, I think Sai in that last bit of moment when he got that kill with the operator, he would have so wished that he had a dash to run away. He could have tried to pull off something, but EXO have to settle for what they've got. What they've got is another kill. Sai, last round he couldn't make it sing. This time Knight Rider Fee eats it. RVK to trade off on the other side of the map respectively. And Excali's gonna eat a lot of damage from that grenade. Down to 24 HP. He's not even gonna get healed if he's not close by. Oh wait, he does. Alright, he was right around the corner over there. Wimp. Sorry, Ghost. Now Sai and Excali, the deadly duo. Oh wait, Shivy. Look at his flank. He's gonna go in for this, and he's got a really good positioning to disrupt the attack of EXO.
The turret doesn't spot him either.
Yeah, it doesn't, and he can just walk in through the middle.
Oh, this could be big.
Placing
I think
swarm grenade.
because it's a bit late, they might expect him
Swarm
now.
grenade out.
Even if they don't check all the way down mid, they will definitely expect somebody or the other to come in from the rope room, which means his backstab is no longer relevant. But Rafa definitely will always be relevant. Crosses coast and he
30
stops him
seconds
from
left.
going over the other side. The spike will try to make a transition, but the pen shells could stop
Out
this
of
one
the
from
charges.
happening. Very little time left, so EXO need to tap that bomb. But I think ScarGod will even dump his own utility to deny the plant from happening. There's very little time left. Wimp will liberate a little bit of pressure by eliminating RVK. But ScarGod
10
will make
seconds
sure that
left.
they cannot plant in the open. They have to go for a safe plant, which also enables Rafa
Spike
to come in
planted.
here from the
One
Raptors
enemy
area. And that's exactly what he does. They both make it a 1-2 punch combo. And that's the way Team F1 are able to win.
A beautiful retake coming in. It was really interesting because if ScarGod would have pushed the smoke, I think a little earlier, I think he would have gotten one kill and then he would have gotten traded out. But his patience to hold on and wait for his teammate to come in was what got him the round. And I love this. Look at this. Excali had to focus on 2 angles and he got pinched between them. And Wimp just had to walk out and he had to fight somewhere. And ScarGod was ready for it. Beautiful round. Force 1 are not out of this, ladies and gentlemen. We have a fight on our hands, and it is fight night indeed. We've got EXO on 5. Force 1 have put up 3 on the board, and now they've thrown EXO into an eco. And Crips, this is getting a lot more interesting than it was looking like in the first 5 rounds.
Yeah, the tables have turned now, haven't they? Team Earth One were the ones who were on an eco, but then they pull off a thrifty, and now this. It was a very smart win too. They basically just made EXO boil out of time. They stopped them from planting using ScarGod's utility and the paint shells of Rafa. It's almost poetic, isn't it? Rafa on Raptors, but now he's going to have a bunch of people to deal with, and unfortunately, the utility is putting him back. Knight Rider has too many enemies on his screen, which means no more trading. Even Shivi has been overwhelmed. It's just Rafa who can save his team right now. The angle on the barrier up might have gotten him a favorable kill, but all the opportunities have passed. And a 3v4 situation. Luckily, no more weapons available for the side of EXO, and Blackhawk, he makes his way back to safety. This could be big, but no, he burns to death. And Excali is vulnerable too. I mean, it's not like any other bullet is needed to kill him. Just a single bullet should do the job, and ScarGod finally puts him in his grave, putting it out of his misery. But Sai is on a massive flank. He's coming in from the rafters. They wouldn't expect him on the high ground, and the showstopper's been dealt with. ScarGod's been silenced, which means he cannot use his abilities to bait out the position of Sai, but he needs to peek him as he's tapping the bomb, and that's what ScarGod does. 2 big rounds from the side of Force 1, both of them on the back of some really high IQ plays.
Yeah, but this eco worked out perfectly for EXO. This is exactly what they wanted. Hurt them and hurt them bad. They got even the plan. They brought it down to a 1v1 at the very end. And the thing about the round towards the B haven't pushed was, Crips, that Sai cleared out the close angle with his grenade, and then the flash came in for Rafa to run back. And even though, you know, there was a grenade that came in, it hurt down the players of EXO. It was just beautiful the way they played. They got, you know, Blackhawk to teleport on the side. He found the kill, and they just completely tore them apart piece by piece by piece. So, a very successful eco, if you ask me.
Knight Rider had a pretty costly price to pay for that barrier rob, and it won't even be lasting too long. All the frags going in the favor of Team EXO, and that's a good start to the round for them, especially since they've lost the 2 previous rounds. Now that they've got their economy back in control, they would want to make full use of it, and the operator is the best way to do that. But Sai is on a glass cannon. He doesn't have any armor on that operator, so yeah, his teammates will need to be very careful. Oh, that's the end of Rafa. No vision, no kills, but at least RVK is back alive, so maybe they can have a chance. Knight Rider also has been picked off, so the moment one player is alive, the other one dies, and the numbers advantage just keeps on going to Team EXO again and again and again.
It certainly does, but right now we've got EXO running in towards the B side with Sai's ultimate, and RVK, he's not deterred by it. Wimp is gonna take him down, Blackhawk is coming in, and here goes another ultimate, Crips, to secure the site for a good measure, but Shivi,
he could kill the spike carrier, and he could destroy the lockdown. They don't know where he is. This is perfect. ScarGod just has to waste a little bit of time.
30 seconds left.
Oh, unfortunately, he can't make it to the other side. Sai will be dealt with. The
Spike
spike
planted.
has transitioned. This could have been a much worse round for the side of Team EXO, but now that they catch ScarGod off guard, this is great. And they know exactly where Shivi is. This is going to have to boil down to aim duels. There is not too good of a crossfire, but hey, that is still fine because Wimp is alone enough to take care of him. A quad kill for this man. And he's sitting on 15 frags already. Are you serious? He's playing as well as a duelist. Wim, the personal bodyguard of Team XO, the man responsible for making sure there's no backstabs, has been doing a pretty damn good job at securing the back lines of his team. But he's not only the shield, he's also the sword, in the words of Sage.
He most certainly is. But the thing, the thing about this Crips is that they need to be a little more careful, EXO. Shivy's not done this once or twice. This is the third time.
Yeah.
And there's probably going to be a round where they're going to pay heavily for letting it come so far. It's not going to be this round because it's a little bit more aggressive on the side of EXO. And they might just find A unless Rafa has something to say about it. He gets one, actually.
You will not
There's
kill
going to come
my
a revive. Goes for the peek. He takes him out as well.
Strike down
Rafa!
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, this is just done and dusted. The bait revive. They thought they'd be able to get the kill onto Rafa, but he's a little too sharp. I was about to say that Knight Rider kind of ego peeked right at the start and got deleted by Sai's operator. But then Rafa
Last
ego peeked as
round
well.
in the half.
And he was able to get all the favorable angles. He was able to first catch Excali looking the wrong way as Excali was checking towards A main. And then he was able to get the kill onto the Sage. And once again on Excali. So this triple kill from him basically decimated the entire lobby.
You could see, yet again, we could see Skargod was coming down into sewers and he was coming to backstab. So I think the fact that they really need to hold on to different parts of the map together, which is not happening from EXO so far, is going to be a problem for them if they continue on this half, but it's almost done and dusted. They're going to have to worry about the defensive side now, but in this last round, RBK is committed, his Viper's put in the mid, and this could be cause of discomfort in case he gets rammed down, but it's not gonna matter. He takes down Sai. He's got Knight Rider right across his avenue to support him. And he's a little hesitant to walking out of this. Is he though?
Heal him, please. The moment your Viper dies, that's gonna be the end of your Viper's pit. He does get healed eventually, but will the Seekers help him get any more kills? I don't think so. Oh, and the Nanostorm Grenade, that's been avoided too. So far, mid is very safely under their control. And if anyone gets stunned over here, this will be the cue for RBK to push. But he's a little more careful than that. Not going to give away the advantage as Rework has so hard to get. EXO now looking to liberate on the other side. Does he check the angle? Oh, he does not pull out the utility at the worst possible time. Oh, and Blackoff teleporting to the back off side. That's the advantage that they needed. Openings created, chinks in the armor found. Now it's just
30
fresh.
seconds left.
Will they dig into it though? 2 versus 3 retake. This is as good as it gets. They have the Cosmic Divide available, but no lockdown or any other, complementary utility to go along with it. And also, on top of that, there's Blackhawk who's coming in from behind. The moment he hears those metallic footsteps, he's gonna know that they're on rafters and they won't check behind him, so that's the perfect opportunity to strike. And he gets them all. No! Skargod turns around rather quick, but then this is still a very risky buy. A very risky situation, but he's able to isolate these frags one by one. It's all going wrong. It's ball down to a 1v1. This is not supposed to happen, and he clutches it! No way, Skargod! You had everything going against you despite all the odds. When everything's stacked against you, you still come out on top. He is a god indeed.
I really did not understand the need to peek out, even though he's shooting the alarm bot. I get it that, the alarm bot sort of like a bait could have allowed you, but when you know that the opponent team is putting up rounds and Sai is just, he's having a fun moment, clearly. He's laughing about something. I would want to know what too, but definitely it's not about this round. It's definitely not about this round.
You sound like the teachers in class who say, "Oh, what are you laughing about?" every time you laugh along with your classmates.
Hey, I mean...
And then they tell you, "Oh, share the jokes." Please don't do that.
I mean, it's nice to hear some of the jokes. I think even the teachers need a moment to laugh, okay?
Yeah, they just need a moment to punish you.
Yeah, no, okay, fair enough, dude. All right, I'm just gonna let it go. Let's put a pistol around now, ladies and gentlemen.
Listen, I went to a really shitty school, okay?
Okay, yeah, you have my condolences.
Yeah. Either way, it's time for these guys to school their opponents as the sides have switched.
What?
Great knife. Could have detected the presence of all these enemies over there, but they were a little too deep inside garage, so no information just yet for Team XO. But all these paint shells flying into the B heaven roots will definitely tell them that mid is lost. But what it doesn't tell them is that there is Rafa inside of the vent room. Now, he can't climb up courtesy of the turret that's been placed over there, but no, wait a second. Is the turret placed for the vent room or is it placed for a ramp? It's placed for a ramp.
A ramp, yeah.
Rafa can still come in, and his teammates already making all this noise on ramp will keep Excali's attention diverted. Even the toxin screen allows him to come through, and that's the opportunity he was looking for. He might even push past the Nebula, which means he can destroy everyone inside screens, and nobody else will be able to trade with him. They're all too busy. Blackhawk now looking to come outside, and they pass by each other. Rafa sharp as ever. He's got a better weapon now too. The flashes are perfect. The paint chill is not. That's okay though. Everyone else is already on screens, and Ghost gets peeked by multiple angles.
Oh boy, this round was so chaotic. I think that one placement of the Killjoy turret, I know that there was, this option for EXO to let go of the ropes room, but that just caused their demise. It let the side of F1 have an avenue to run into, completely expose it out, and Rafa being the most explosive player, he's obviously going to do that, and he made it count. He made it count really well. And his team, on the back of it, entered A site, got everything that they needed, and they put up number 7 on the board, and they've taken the lead for the first time in this game.
Yeah, that's the opportunity they were looking for, but hey, that doesn't mean Team EXO is completely out of this game just yet. Look at all the cheeky angles they're holding. They don't check him. Oh, this is great!
Oh, this is so many times I've seen this happen with Blackhawk. He's just not checked in that angle. I don't know why. I think I've seen this about 7, 8 times now. People should have learned this about him.
Yeah, but it's a little too aggressive of an angle, right? You will almost always get spotted over there unless there's a smoke on you, and that's not always present, so they thought it's safe.
Yeah, fair enough. Rafa, he spotted out Excali, and he's given the cue to his teammates that there is somebody here. And so there goes the immediate reaction of a smoke. Goes under heaven, gets jumped upon, and Rafa, although caught in this gravity pole, is not going to have any sort of problems because Stargod is there to support him. Blackhawk again.
Again, he had a Spectre too. He could have done so much more, but nope. Have to insult your enemies with the shorty. Sai now has a very realistic chance of winning this round. Shivi can't use anything. He barely has any flashes left. It will be available again in 3 more seconds, so this could be his chance, but they're all double peeking him, so yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to clutch this one out.
Finds himself 14 seconds, 13 seconds. He's got to go for the plan, and there's players running on towards him. And they're not gonna be able to stop the. They're not gonna be able to stop the plan. But Shivi.
One enemy remaining.
Oh wait, he actually gets the kill. He's 7 HP. All Sai needs is 1 bullet. He gives up a fake sound cue of him jumping down, but I don't think he blinked.
Damn.
Shivi. Oh,
He's not buying it. He's not buying your fakes. You gotta be a better salesman than that.
Yeah. Maybe you want to take some classes from Jordan Belfort, right?
Yeah, Jordan Belfort was a scammer, no matter what you say about him.
He was a great salesman in the end of the day, right?
There's 2 ways to look at him.
Fair enough. I mean, he is called the Wolf of Wall Street for a reason, so...
Yeah, this time they're playing
I'm probably saying it because I love Leonardo DiCaprio, but hey.
Yeah, but this time we're playing with lions, or most Indians call it dogs. I'm talking about Sky's utility over here. We're throwing dogs and birds. It's turned into a zoo over here. And we're not too far from an absolute circus, considering that both the teams have a bye right now. Oh, wow. God,
Okay.
that's nerdy wimp.
Okay.
Without even having a line of sight, just preemptively firing at Shivi, and the Birdman's been killed.
Yeah. It has been, and now Force One immediately on the disadvantage of not having any sort of flashes available to them. And they have been stuck in the position where EXO exactly want them to be. Nowhere to go. They want to go towards ropes. That's exactly where EXO expect them to come into. Because you can see there's 2 players of EXO on that A heaven side. It's Wimp and Sai. And as soon as Sai has his knife yet again, he's going to throw it down. Right now, though, he throws in a grenade for safe measure. And F1, they're a little cautious. They don't know what they're doing. They want to go towards B. They're confused. And I don't see a game plan out of this round, Crips.
Confused Unga Aya. Uh-oh, Nitro has been detected. They won't peek him though. They're letting him cross. They want him to come towards screens. They want him to go deeper into enemy territory so that he has no option of backup. But while all of this is happening, Blackhawk is the one who needs a little bit of help. No, he doesn't. Cancel that. He's alone enough to hold down the fort. He walks into that paranoia. Had no idea where it came from. Too many people on his screen, and Ghost does the cleanup.
Just destroyed. They got turned and torn apart left and right. Force One You saw that just the one kill onto Shivy completely disrupted their entire round. Just that one kill. Because they didn't know where to
Exactly.
go. They didn't know what to do. They had no direction whatsoever because Shivy's utility is what gave them direction so far, right? That the dog, the birds, and even when he has the ultimate, the Seekers, that's what give them direction to move in towards places in this map. But Shivy gone, no round available. That's exactly what's the name of the game so far, at least. And Sai is gonna get advantage of having information of, I think, one player at the very least. I don't think he spotted out Scar God, did he?
It doesn't really matter. He will still check towards mid, so it doesn't really matter. The only thing that he doesn't know yet is the fact that the spike is present over there. But very soon even that will be relevant. Under normal circumstances, Shivy would have had his ultimate by now, but now that the jet, I'm sorry, not the jet, the sky has been nerfed, but ultimate costs 7 points. So yeah, you won't be having that online anytime soon. And with all your players dying left, right, and center, I think the best that Team F1 can do right now is get some eco frags, maybe do some damage, but they're not being given anything. Shivy needs just one more kill to get his ultimate online. Or even if it dies right now, it will be fine. Yeah. There you go. Seekers is ready. Shivy is ready to unleash them in the next round.
Now, they need to have a game plan behind these Seekers, Crips, because an eco round, you can't forgive it because you obviously don't expect them to win this one out, right?
Yeah,
but now in this round, they've got weapons, they've got a lot of different utility to use, especially Shivy's, and they've got the Seekers online. And not just that, they even might just find Rafa's ultimate if needed, if he picks up an orb, right? And they look like they're ganking up towards A. No, they choose otherwise. They're gonna go towards mid. All right, let's see what they have in mind because those Seekers are a really good piece of informational play. And if they don't use it well, it's gonna cause them problems. RVK though, already gone down and now go the Seekers immediately. And there it is. Force One are being completely trembled down upon here. They've lost a player and the Seekers are of no use anymore. I don't know what they're thinking, but the B side looks like it's gonna have a lot of commercial chaos.
And this is exactly what they were looking for, but maybe Rafa can turn it around. 3v3. Ghost needs to stop them from crossing over, but the barrier up will be instantly broken. The danger is still online. They can go for the spike plant in this position, but they can always get spammed down through the woodworks. Looking to make this a rescue mission, but then Rafa pulled out the big guns, discouraging them from coming any closer. No kills found, so this is still a very dicey round for both these teams.
Last player
Oh,
standing.
that's disgusting. Rafa on his third kill already. Excali now reached to be the guy who makes raised if the Knight Rider will deny it. Lovely adjustment from the side of Team F1. Okay, so this is what happened over here. RVK got a little bit of a horror show when he saw so many people rush him down the A corridors. And that's the call. He said 3 people spotted on A, the other 2 should be somewhere on mid or B. Find them using the Seekers and get the plant on B. Now, this would have worked. Shivy, his Seekers did reveal all the positions, but here's the thing, Blackhawk's paranoia held them back for a little bit. And because of that paranoia, the side of Force One was not able to come in the site quickly enough, and all the EXO members rotated towards the B site very, very fast. Which is exactly why it boiled down to a 2 versus 2 situation. Otherwise, Team F1 would have had a much easier time going into that B site. The fact that the rotations were so fast because of that paranoia, it bought them enough time, and it made it a little expensive for F1, but they won the round nonetheless. And now both the teams are on somewhat of an equal footing. EXO have a little bit more money. They can afford to buy in the next round as well if they lose here. But they would obviously not want to, right? They want to equalize the score now.
Yeah, 9-8. It's still F1 in the lead. They're gonna be okay with giving up another round, but I don't think they'd want to. Their economy is a little spread across the middle. 3 players don't have economy, while the other 2 have a bit of cash left. Right now, things are a little slow as they are trying to find their avenues towards B Heaven. God, Shivy, and Rafa are right around the corner. Flashes, boombots, everything being thrown in over here. And EXO have to be careful about what they face, because there's going to be a huge push coming in now, Crips, and it's going to be the first duel at least by Blackhawk. There's 4 more to go.
Oh, make it 4v4. Toast is making it very expensive, but so is Shivy. Finally, Rafa will be able to get with the trades. But Excali, is he going to be on time? He's going to wait for Side to make this one work. Ah, the boombot doesn't go in the direction he intended to, but At least RBK's position has been found out, and that's what Sai does. He gets him out of the picture. But this is the deadly crossfire. Both Rafa and his teammates are in the same angle. Now literally in the same position. But could this be a good bait? Have they done enough to give Rafa a fighting chance? They don't check him. And the trigger discipline is amazing. The patience from Rafa is perfect. What the nut? No, get out of here. He did not even aim at Excali. What the hell was that? Was he even shooting at Excali? He just heard Excali drop into hell and he just randomly just shot in his direction. That's it. How did Excali die to that? He wasn't even aiming at him. This is disgusting, Rafa. Oh. Confused Unga Bunga for the side of EXO. How did they lose that round? Maybe the renaming of Rafa definitely helps him. Look at him. He's on 21 frags. He's getting all these kills that he's not supposed to. And the bait. The deadly bait. He let his teammate die, but he clutched the round. That's just ridiculous. I have never seen that happen.
I mean, it's a compensation, right? It's okay. You bait a teammate, get a round win.
Second time in a game? Second time? Oh, come on.
I mean, it's 10 to 8. I don't want to blame him. Right now, Blackhawk has got yet again an advantage, and Sai spotted out too, but what he doesn't know is that somebody's crawled up towards his left side. It's gonna be a little bit of a problem if he doesn't choose to, you know, detect that with his own eyes, rather, not the knife this time. VK goes in through, gets taken out, punished, and it's gonna be Sai rewarded for his patience. As Kargad, he knows there's somebody around it. He knows even there's a Killjoy's alarm bot here. Shivy's here. Okay, no, absolutely not. Nope. Okay.
What?
Oh,
Shivy spray transfer? It was Rafa last round to get those ridiculous frags, but this time Shivy does it. That first frag he was able to get, understandable, but what on earth was that second one? That's stupid. Rafa now has Seekers to guide his spot. He's gonna get in all the way towards the defender entrance. And he now knows exactly where they're coming from. The timing is going to be of crucial importance over here. He's holding an off angle too, so Excali can't pre-fire it. And now he can stop everyone else from crossing into the side as they drop out of the heavens.
One enemy remaining.
And Shivy's just blocking the ball midair. They won't even let them get their boots on the ground. But the resurrection available. Will Ghost go for a bait revive, or will he try to win the 1v1 all by himself? This time he's going to pre-fire Rafa's spot. He knows exactly where he is. It's the same position as last time, and EXO won't lose this round again. But the time? I don't think they have it. No, they don't have it.
Oh.
From the same position, Rafa's able to win the round twice. This time he did not even need to get the kill. It was just timing, and everything worked for him.
Oh my lord. EXO, they're slipping away here. Force One had such a good grasp of that round. They got the kill, even though it was the side of EXO who had the advantage. I think it was the third time in a round where Blackhawk got the first blood. Right? Third, maybe fourth time. I saw him do that twice towards B main, one towards mid, I feel. And he's getting the advantage, and Sai also added on to that. But still, EXO are not able to translate that into their end game. And if Force One win this, Crips, I said this before, if EXO somehow if they pull out Split, they're gonna take this 2-0. But if Force One pull out this one, it's probably gonna go to the third map, which, by the looks of it, could be the case unless we see another fun masterclass come out on Haven, which we've seen many times now. So EXO need to be really careful here, and they need to consider all of the cards that they have in their hand, because Force One are holding the better cards at the moment.
Turning it into a little game of poker. Of course, you gotta take your chances with those. But there's 4 ultimates available now for the side of EXO. And 2 of them can be used to aggressively clear out the areas. You can have Excali push people back with a showstopper, and Blackhawk to intercept them with his From the Shadows. Or you could use Wimp's Lockdown. The options are endless. And if things go wrong, there's always Ghost and his little resurrection policy. Pulling out the desperate weapons too. The charge in the hands of Excali. Hero by Vandal for Blackhawk. With full armor too. Everyone else on just a bunch of sheriffs.
Oh boy.
That's the start that they've been looking for. Excali jumping up in the air, killing RBK. That's the guy with the Viper Spit, which means post blunts will be difficult for F1 right now. But the other showstopper also comes online and hasn't found anyone just yet. Even if it's allowing the side of F1 to just get in the side because nobody peeks him, afraid of the showstopper, it's fine. Now the 4v4 retake begins. And this could be tricky. The lockdown will not cover the entire side, which means they can still stay back in there. And they realize their mistake. Everyone can just stay and chill, and they will be fine. But Rafa wants to push the advantage. They wanted to destroy the lockdown. Knight Rider does what he couldn't do, but no! 2 players have been detained nonetheless. How has this happened? Scargod is the only one that can save them right now because Knight Rider is irrelevant. And the plant, it's not in his favor. Knight Rider will have to win all these battles, and there's nothing that the other guy can do. Ah, poor guy.
You know, their decision to push up towards defender side
Yeah,
spawn
unnecessary.
You know, I understand the thought process behind it, but I think that they could have stayed behind the site. I'm not quite sure what the angles were. Could they or could they not have been, you know, detained? I'm not sure, but they couldn't have possibly thought about facing off 3 players on that heaven position, which could have been a possibility. But Wimp was enough by himself, it looked like. And he got the kills, and he's been on a roll, so it was obviously a little bit of a challenge to face him. And, well, they lost a round. Exo, they're going to be putting up another one. It's number 9 on the board, and it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge now. Force 1, they don't have too many problems. It's just that their economy is 1 right now. And Rafa, although he's got a Phantom, a Hero Phantom, not quite sure how much that's going to work out. Sai, top players coming onto his position, runs away as soon as he sees the flash. He's got Wimp to his support, and the turret as well. And because of that, it's an immediate rotate coming in from Force 1.
They've taken mid control, but they're not too keen on pushing out anywhere else. Definitely not towards B Heaven. They're just throwing in all the utility of the sky to keep the side of EXO on their feet. But they're looking to explore the other avenues, namely the Raptors and the A Heavens. Excalibur will deny everything. Ghost is going to make sure even RVK dies, but maybe Shivi can make this one work. He's been set up for the perfect bait, but now that the spike is down, it's all down to the Rafa. Luckily, he's got a weapon, so it's not going to be completely barehanded when he walks into this fight, but he's going to have to time it right. And will they anticipate him? Perhaps they will.
7-10, that Ikaron could have probably been a little bit more dangerous, but Rafa could not really do anything with that Phantom he had. And they were split across completely. Sai was supported by Wimp and that B Heaven push. As soon as they know there's Sai and Wimp here, they had to rotate and they went towards A Heaven where Excali was waiting for them. They took him out, and he took them out, sorry. Now we got number 10 on the board. Crips, this round is probably the most important because if F1 win this, they take us all the way to match point and they're gonna have a good economy as well. But if XO win this, then Force 1 are gonna be in a lot of deep trouble.
Poison orb emitting.
It's a very slow round because both these teams are now approaching the double digits, and we have F1 on the verge of reaching map point. Will they make any reckless moves? If they're able to get into the site, then there will be the Viper Spit available. Wait, they're committing the Viper Spit before they reach the site? It won't let them get to the planting area. Is this some sort of a fake? Yes, this has to be a fake. RVK committing it towards the B side while everyone else moving towards A. There's only 2 people here to deal with this. It's just Sai and Wimp. Now, both of them are very capable. At least the Killjoy utility is going to delay them a little bit, which will allow the side of XO to make the rotations towards A possible. And Shivi's been killed before he can do anything. What? Sai lines them up. He knocks them down. And this fake, it's been read like a book.
Yeah, I mean, I've not really seen a Viper's Pit being committed as a fake, but RVK is just a man that I think I would expect to do something like that. But he's even doing something more than what I expect. He's got 3. He tapped down the first 2 like they were a fly, swatted them across, gets the 3rd, and now in a 2v1, he's got the spike in his hands, but what he doesn't have is the position of the players who are coming in behind him, and he's gonna eat a bullet at the back of his head any second now, but he escapes. He's on the side. 10 seconds left. He's gonna go for the plan, and he's gotta go for it. They'll hear this, and they're running towards him. There comes the grenade from Excali, and Blackhawk is gonna shut him down. No more, he says. But I think RVK's caused enough damage.
Yeah, he's done enough damage. That's all right. Both the teams now at 11-11. But the main question over here that begs our attention is, do F1 have enough to buy in the next round? Not enough.
Exactly.
Gonna have to make some compensations and some compromises.
Oh boy.
Light armor on RBK and Knight Rider, Spectre onto Rafa. Of course, it makes sense to have Spectre on Rafa. He's the most mobile agent in this lineup. But is that enough? You've got 2 healers on your team, both of them having their ultimates ready. And on the side of EXO, only the Resurrection available. Coast has had this Resurrection for like 3 rounds now, but he hasn't used it yet.
Oh, Sai. Oh. Even
What?
though he had the jump on him, he couldn't get the kill, and he's going to be tagged down through the smoke. Eats a bunch of bullets, and he's going to go for the heal, which Ghost should be giving him, but Ghost is... Yeah, he's on the A side, so Sai has to play a little bit more of a passive position. Clears that rope for the moment, though. But the mid control has gone to the hands of F1. What are they going to choose to do with it? Are they going A? Are they going B?
They would have relinquished mid control to F1 nonetheless. EXO have been doing that. They're comfortable with letting F1 take mid. And then EXO are just putting up all the defenses on the site instead, which is great. Now, the only thing that F1 need to be careful about is crossing into the site by covering CT or something like that. That's the one position they've been struggling with so far. But this time, EXO have adjusted. They don't have anyone playing towards CT. All of them in the site itself, and Excali's putting down all the utility to delay them. This has happened once before. We've seen this. Every time the Seekers are committed, counter utility to delay them has come through. This time, though, it won't be of much use because everyone's being overwhelmed. And what? They're finding everyone! Excali got shot down through the smoke. Ghost has no chance of coming inside. The moment he peeks, there's 3 people watching his angle, and Sai is not able to do anything else. He's got the utility and everything, but can he make this work against Viper's Pit? That too with an op.
Wait, didn't RVK just have his Viper's Pit?
Yeah. Yeah, that's weird. He had it like 2 rounds ago.
Okay, so that 1 round where you got 3 kills is more than enough to get it back. And now Sai left in a 1v3, which is looking damn near impossible, is gonna force him to save. Yeah, there's nothing he can do. He's gonna have to play for the overtime with this operator. His shots didn't really connect towards mid. I don't really know. We saw that clip, right? I mean, when he was aiming, he got the shot, but he chose to wait because he thought it was a bait. Somebody else would come out. He just had to give up that fight.
Yeah, but that's okay. No? I mean, I never criticize anyone for missing their shots. Yeah, but if they make some bad decisions, yep, that's when I speak my mind. Either way, you're right. A very good observation. 2 very quick ultimates by RVK, and they net him the round once. One of it was a fake, which obviously didn't work out. It was too obvious of a fake. Nobody commits that ultimate that early on. But hey, he got 3 kills, then he planted the spike, he died, so that's like 5 ultimate points in 1 round. That's just ridiculous. And then you just need, what, 2 opening kills, and you've got the Viper's Pit again? Of course you can do that. But luckily, EXO have a bite. This is it! It's either overtime, or we have F1 winning the first map. Unfortunately, F1 don't have all the money. They have Spectres on Shivy and Knight Rider. And sure, the run and gun can help them last round, dink Sai in the face, but not sure if that's going to be enough this time around, as the pace has been slowed down. And keep in mind, EXO have almost always let F1 walk away with the mid control, but this time they won't do that. For the first time ever, Excali is pushing up towards mid, and he's been punished for it. So the change in plans did not really go in the favor of EXO. There is a resurrection available on Coast, but Excali is so deep inside enemy territory, he can't revive him.
Wait,
okay.
What? How did...
At least he can get the kills like that, so that was not supposed to happen. And then this resurrection comes through and they can't peek him. There's a Nebula in the way, nobody on Heaven, so it's back to a 4v5. But if they abandon mid and they all go towards B, then maybe the resurrection will be possible for EXO. It's a fat chance though. And now he's making it work. Spike's been killed and all the jig is up. And this has happened at such a crucial time. There's only 30 seconds remaining, so F1 really need to make a move. The moment they start to come in from B Heavens, this will be a very telegraphed play. Rotation from EXO will also come through, making the job for them even harder. 20 seconds left. Talk. Clock is ticking, and they need to be careful. They don't check Black Hawk's angle. They both die to him. Free Fire's coming through, and he's so precise. He strikes thrice. Scargod, the only one who can save him, has barely any time left. He can't even move into the ace side if he wants. Desperately, he wants to try and go for the fake one, but Coast knows exactly what's happening. We're going to overtime.
Pretty much what we wanted to see from the side of EXO. They put up a performance in that last round when they really needed to. And that round was just brilliant. I love that these guys held their nerve, and Blackhawk, the particular hero of this round, held his ground on that back of B side. Exactly what he had to do. Waited and waited. Did not get, did not get a little too fidgety with coming out to peak, and take his life out, maybe giving in a 1v1 trade on the B main. He just waited for them to come to his crosshair, and then it was the Blackhawk show all around. Even the kill onto Heaven was so good. He was supporting Ghost. And we can see now, ladies and gentlemen, it is overtime. We've got everybody's economy back online. So nothing to worry about in terms of weaponry. Only thing is now to worry about strategy. How are you going to do this, EXO? And how are you going to do this, F1?
Both the halves have been more or less equal. It's not like any of these teams prefer
Oh boy.
any of the sides, but Rafa, he goes unchecked. He doubles up, making a third, and now he's got the showstopper. God damn it. Imagine having an ultimate in your overtime, but he's been silenced. Will the rocket fuse expire before he can do anything? Yes, it will. Hey, that's completely okay. He was never supposed to get the ultimate in the first place, but now he's been killed. The nanostorm grenade forces him out, but Wimp will put a bullet in his body before he can escape. So, damage is mitigated to some extent from the side of EXO, but things are still a little dicey.
They are 3v2. They have B main under control. Nobody's pushed up from B main, and that's what Wimp at least knows for now. They're moving in towards there. B side is open except for ScarGod on towards that B heaven position. Whether or not he's gonna check this in time is a question.
30
he actually
seconds
moves
left.
back, and they're gambling this on A, I believe so. ScarGod is playing this really, really passively, and that's gonna allow EXO to move into this side. Blackhawk has got a good positioning. It's just about time that ScarGod is gonna listen to this plan go down, and he's gonna call it out to his teammates, or he's gonna try to go stop this by himself.
10 seconds left.
Oh yeah, pull it. Stop the plant. It goes through nonetheless. If this plant would have been stopped, that's it. That round has been lost then. And they wouldn't have had the plant planted. But it's still 3v2, so F1 can still win this if they're able to get the trades. The crossfire is there, but the Nebula might break it. Now that it's gone, it's back online. Will they live to survive? They can hear two people coming through. Big tap, and Shivi's protecting him. And he's able to get both of them. This is amazing stuff from Shivi. The way he's been stepping up is phenomenal.
It most certainly has been, and I love that these guys at F1 are just playing it so methodically. And especially that first 3K from Rafa. I don't know what the hell that guy's on. But he just saw Excali jump in front. I don't know how they didn't check him. How did they not check him? That's a common angle. That, there's always going to be at least one person in ropes, if not somewhere behind. But that doesn't mean you just, waltz your way in like that. Always have to check your angles.
Yeah, but that's a one and done angle of sorts, and you would have expected.
But he got a 3 and done.
He got 3. So at the first kill, fine, no problem. But the second and the third, yeah, that was unexpected. Sai can't escape. He's been slowed and he's been put to his grave. And that's the advantage that F1 had been looking for. The perfect opening. And keep in mind, Sai was the top tracker for his team. His operator was the one that's creating problems for F1. And now that they dealt with the problem child, everything else becomes a piece of cake. More utility going into heaven, doesn't spot anyone. This should be a clear indication that there are more reinforcements towards garage, but they are completely comfortable with it. Even after facing multiple people, they still want to push towards the B side. They want to force the issue, and maybe Ghost will be able to stop them. No avenue of escape, no crossfire either, but he's all comfortable by himself. Finally, he's been put to a halt by Shivi, but it's still a 3v3. Things are still doable for the side of EXO. The only person who can make a difference is Excali, and he finds ScarGod looking in the wrong direction. Now, that's the backstab that they were looking for. At this point, Shivi and Rafa, they will be really, really paranoid about Excali's position. But little do they know, Excali is back in his home turf. He's up mid, and all the backstabbing positions have been dealt with. A gamble push towards the ace side. If they can make it on time, this will be good. There's nobody available on the ace side. No killjoy utility either, so they won't be pinged as soon as they enter A.
Oh no.
So they can have a free plant. That won't be a problem, but yeah, holding on to that plant will be difficult.
Yeah, it most certainly will be. We've got Excali already on the rotate, and the rest of the players of EXO as well. As the plan is going to go down. Now in a 3v2.
It's an open plant too.
Yeah,
Oh wait, it's not.
No,
it's not.
It's not.
They have to go and defend it from the side itself, so they can't move out and get some aggressive kills.
But Excali can be a little bit more flexible with the way he plays. He can allow himself to jump in and out and let his teammates do the work for him on the back of it. They hear these players coming in now, Shivy and Rafa. They're gonna have to be careful. Blackhawk gonna be a little bit more cautious than the others are, and he's gonna take down the first as Wimp gets the other. The grenade gonna cause Shivy's death as he had to move out of position. We go to a second overtime, ladies and gentlemen. And there's nothing right now that separates these two teams. But, Quips, the one thing that I do want to point out is that EXO, don't you think that EXO sort of changed their gameplay a bit in the last couple of rounds there? They're not really being as aggressive as we've known them to be. They're playing it a little slow. They're letting Force One come to them. The first initial peaks, yes, like Sai going on towards B main to find that, you know, with the operator, find something. Yeah, of course. But flanks like these, which Excali just made in this round, we've not seen an awful lot of. It's been really, you know, dormant till now.
Well, maybe this is the time to wake up. Get out of hibernation. Winter's over. Heat's stepping up, and looks like they will need a little bit of help. EXO once again on the attacking side. Things worked out well for them last time around, but the retake has been problematic for them. At least they haven't lost any of their players like last time, so all three top fraggers, 22 kills each, all alive, and a minute's already up. They've balled out so much utility from the side of Team F1. This is good. They won't have too much remaining for this execute itself. More delays. I think it's telegraphed that F1 are coming towards the ace side, and look at the rotations from EXO. They're already here. If they try to go in from the docks and screens, Skargod can get them with the paint shells, will deny his positions. He can't even fall back. He's been flashed and he's been killed. More people tried to make do their mistakes, but they've been dealt with. What? Excali. Not the best time to go for that orb. He probably wanted a showstopper, but now the show's over. They need to stop them right now. 2 versus 3. EXO still have the advantage. They can win this one. But can Rafa pull it off? Flash available in 3 seconds. This could be big. They need to be very careful about clearing this crossfire. Flash doesn't get popped, so they haven't revealed everyone's position just yet. Sai's the only person who will probably go unchecked, and of course they won't focus on him. Should be good for 1, but the crossfire is too deadly. He's gonna get double peeked, and the bait and switch is perfect.
Your duty is not over.
EXO have taken back the lead on the back of a really good round. They took control of mid. They gave away the positions. They didn't mind that F1 were contesting them because what their initial plan was to go towards A, and they did that really well. Although Skargod did his best, it just wasn't enough. And RVK2 couldn't support him. And Knight Rider and Shivy and Rafa left all alone in the last bit. We're just against the 3 men of EXO who were a little too strong for them. Now, EXO, they need to defend this push coming in from Force One. Rafa's already made some pretty loud sound cues towards A, and you can see immediate rotation coming in from Excali. It looks like it's another fake from Force One. They're trying to play a page out of EXO's book. This time it might be towards mid and B.
Yeah, but I'm surprised they haven't died yet. This crossfire is very deadly. And they walk past the ramp area. Boombot will reveal their positions, but hey, that's completely okay. They probably won't even reveal themselves. Oh, they do! Wait! Rafa's able to get that 1 kill. And now they have sound cues coming in from the rope room as well. They have too many angles to cover, and Flip won't be able to deal with them all. He's been paint shelled again, forced into a corner. No more backup arriving as well because the barrier orb is up and Skargod will destroy him. Things are starting to look up for the side of F1. We might just have a 3rd overtime. And at this point, how many more do we have in store for us?
I'm not quite sure, Grips, but it looks like it might just be another one. Blackhawk waited. Blackhawk goes. They make me eat my words. No way! He blinded on teammate, but that's okay.
Shivy can't protect him. Yeah, this is slow orb, and Shivy will have to go all the way from heaven. Oh no, wait, he can't even do that because the plant isn't there for him, and Ghost will catch him with birds out in his hand. EXO deny the overtime. They shut it down right here and now. A 2 versus 4 retake against all odds. Blackhawk and Ghost step up.
2 versus 4 looked like it was definitely going to be another overtime, but I don't know how these two pull it off. But they're crazy, crazy people, dude. I don't know what these guys have for lunch, breakfast, or dinner. But Blackhawk, he's an absolute beast. He got the 2 kills that he needed. And although Ghost got blinded while jumping down to help out his own teammate, Shivi was just caught in no man's land, and there was nothing he could do. Even if he had to go on towards heaven, the plan was, I don't think it was in his favor, and it was just done and dusted. As we go into the match highlights, ladies and gentlemen, to see this intense matchup from the beginning till the very end, as EXO have put up a very deep-rooted performance here, which in the beginning looked like could have been theirs for the easy taking, but F1 made them sweat, and they made them sweat hard, didn't they?
Oh yeah, but consider this: all this sweaty gameplay it came because this map happens to be one of the stronger maps of F1.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we're going into Haven next, do you think EXO will be able to wrap it up cleanly and make it a 2-0? Or do you think there's a possibility of map 3?
I think I'm gonna stick by what I said earlier. I think that if EXO picked up Split, they're gonna have a 2-0 coming in, and I choose to believe that just because I know that EXO are. I know that this was a map that was gonna be a little bit of a tricky one, but I don't think Haven is gonna be that tricky. It's a lot more freedom to play with in terms of space. It's a lot more freedom to play in terms of positional advantages when you're attacking. That's one of the maps that for EXO love the most. We've seen their attacking half on Haven is one of the most aggressively played map at teams, anywhere. We've not seen any team play as aggressive as EXO on Haven. And even when they're on the defense, we always see either Excali pushing up from B, or we see him pushing in from Garage. If he's got the showstopper, if he's playing the Raze, he's got the showstopper, or if he's playing the Reyna, he moves right in to get a peek with his Leer thrown out. Everything about Haven is what screams aggressiveness from EXO. They take in A main, like, how the Jet comes in and moves in, close in. But yeah, so far, it's been a really tough fight for them. And I think Haven's going to be a little bit more easier, Crips. I'm not saying that F1 are not going to be comfortable. It is a map where we see a lot more variability from F1 as well. But I think EXO might just have the edge because, well, their explosiveness is a lot more than Force One. We know that, Rafa is a great race player, but on Haven, he usually plays that Sky. So his ability to move in and take fights head on is cut in half, if not lesser than that. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going to happen in Haven. If it's going to be really close, or is it going to be EXO taking the whole thing? But I believe that EXO will be taking it no matter how far the scoreline goes.
That's true. EXO do have a much better chance of winning Haven. I mean, at this point, we also have to address the fact that several of the rounds that Team F1 was able to win in this game to make it competitive were based on the back of clutches and individual plays. How many times did Rafa step up? Immeasurable. The
Yeah.
amount of impact Rafa had on this game, it's ridiculously stupid. And then, of course, you've got the possibility of bait and switch, which was performed well by both these teams to some extent. There was this one point where the players of F1 got baited into thinking that they are safe for the retake while they were clearing out the Under Heaven region on B. And then, of course, they used something similar when they were on the attacking side. This clutch from Skargard again. I keep on proving my point. There's so many people who are responsible for clutching out these individual rounds, and these heroics from F1 are what kept them alive. It's what kept the map competitive, and at 6-6, like 3 clutches from Rafa, 2 more from Skargard. I mean, I think Shivi also had one. My memory is probably playing tricks with me. But yeah, there was too much individual performance in this map, and that's kind of a concern, right? We said it in the analyst segment as well, that Knight Rider is the guy who basically goes in for all those clutch moments and plays, but you can't rely too much on one player. So yeah, that's the thing over here. And it's kind of indicated in the scoreboard as well, right? Like you take a look at Rafa's score, he's got 29 kills, and RBK has 20, Shivi has 19. So it's basically Rafa doing majority of the heavy lifting, whereas for the side of Team XO, everyone's on a similar score level. Psy, 25. Blackhawk, again, 25. Wimp is the one on 24, 23 on Coast. So everyone's lifting the weight equally on the side of Team XO. Whereas for F1, was a lot of individual heroics.
Yeah, there was a lot of individual heroics, and even though the scoreboard for Skargod and Knight Rider doesn't give that out, you could see, okay, it's a 15-13 scoreline. You'll see a lot of players, playing out really well. But what you don't see is that Skargod actually got clutches done. He stood up in moments when he was supposed to, and even though he's got just 12 kills, it doesn't mean that this was less of a game for him. He's a controller. He did his role, and that's exactly why it went to 15-13 scoreline, because they had that much to prove. Otherwise, if you look at the scoreboard like that, when there's players got 14, 13, 12 kills, you would expect the scoreline to be somewhere around maybe 13-9, 13-10, right? But you can see that they've had their impact in rounds where they needed to, and it's been the case like that for the entire map. But is it going to be like that on Haven is of question, Crips, as we're going to have to see what happens. You and I are going to take a short break, so don't go anywhere, guys. We're going to be back in just a few minutes to see whether or not Exo are going to take this 2-0. Our force one going to force us to map number 3.
Hey, South Asia Valorant players, I'm Sean Garris.
It's Kusta.
And Michael from Genji Valorant here with some really exciting news.
We have teamed up with LG Ultragear and the Esports Club for Season 2 of the Gauntlet.
The winner of TEC Gauntlet Season 2 will receive an exclusive one-on-one mentoring session with our Valorant team to help identify areas of improvement in their game to prepare for a higher level of gameplay.
In addition to that, we're going to be reacting to some of the top plays throughout this competition. Guys, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so make sure you don't miss out on this. Good luck to everyone competing from everyone here at Genji Valorant.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the TEC Gauntlet Season 2, powered by WD Black and AMD Ryzen Radeon. We had a pretty good first map, a pretty intense first map between EXO and Force One. We saw a overtime upon an overtime come in, and we saw the scoreline that's in front of your eyes right now, 15-13, won out by EXO. It was a really interesting pick for them to choose out Split, which we were surprised by because F1 are so good at it, and they somehow won it out in the end. And now that we go to Haven, Crips, what are your thoughts? I mean, I already give my bit of mine, telling that if EXO take the first one, they might just take this 2-0. But what do you know? What do you think?
So EXO were doing one really nice thing is that they kept on switching up their aggressive stances. At one point, they had Excali rush A ramp. Sometimes they had him rush mid. Sometimes even B garage. Even Sai was changing up the position of his operator every now and then. So this variable play is something that will keep the players of F1 on their feet. And the moment they have to think on their feet, it's when their hands can't work as well. They can't really adjust as well as EXO can. And we saw this in Split. The rotations from Team EXO were always on point. They were always stacking the correct bomb sites. They were always making sure that F1 Esports have to fight multiple people. They never have a free entry into the site except for that one round where they managed to send one player through the rope room. That was it. That was the only time when the fake worked for the side of Team F1. Other than that, EXO were on top of this map. Now in Haven, I think they'll have even more control because this is not only their comfortable turf, but they have more opportunities to switch things up.
They most certainly do. You know, Haven is a map where you've got a lot of different things to consider when you're attacking a side, when you're defending a side. Split is really compact. It's really up close and personal. But Haven, there's a lot of long-range duels. There's a lot of avenues that you can explore as a lurker, as you know, someone who wants to just be an initiator who, you know, can make stuff happen on their own. It's usually the fact that we see a Sova and a Sky combination come in. The dual initiator is something that Haven is known for. It's famed for because, well, it's a huge map and you need a lot of information on this map, and that's only gotten to you by 2 initiators, most certainly being the Sky and the Sova. Sometimes the Breach is thrown into play, depends on who's playing it or which team is playing it, and usually we see it in the hands of Global Esports, but I don't mind seeing it on any one of these players. I would love to see it, any one of these players pick it on as well. You know, if we see, I don't know, Wimp and side change to, you know, choose to change up completely, go on for a completely different side of things in terms of initiator, throw in a Breach in the Sky, which I don't think is gonna happen because a Sova is probably, a Sova is probably the best, one of the best agents in the game, if not the best, I believe, in terms of informational and setup play and damage as well. So a Sova definitely gonna be there, but I'm interested to see who's gonna be the duelist. Are we gonna see a Phoenix, or is it gonna be, you know, a Reyna? Whatever it is, we're going to have to jump into the agent selection screen to find out, ladies and gentlemen, as we've got the server loaded up, locked in, and all the players are going to go in and choose out who they're going to be playing with. And as I speak about it, Excali's the one playing with Sky on the side of Exo. We got Sai on Sova, exactly what we expected. And we've got Rafa this time actually going for the Reyna. Usually, I think I've seen him about 4 or 5 times. I've casted his matches that he's played with the Sky on Haven.
Yeah.
It looks like Kargat this time is going for it.
Yeah, before that, he used to be the Battle Sage. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting how Rafa has switched it up. 2 duelists, 2 initiators, 1 sentinel.
Wait.
No controllers?
No,
yeah, Skargot, he
I got
picked up the
scared for a second.
Yeah, me too. He picked up the Astra instead of the Sky. So, yeah, that kind of makes sense now.
Yeah, now it's up to Rafa to try and play that secondary information role, right? He needs to be, well, basically the human drone. He needs to run around and find information. His Leer can be used as an informational bait if somebody shoots at it, but that doesn't really give out much. He needs to act as the lurker, and he needs to make sure that his team finds success on the back of him getting kills, because if that's not going to happen, it's going to be a little bit of a tough time for the side of F1. And who's that little puppy behind Excali? I want to say hello.
Huh? Wait, what? There's a dog?
Yeah,
I didn't notice that.
Behind Excali.
Oh.
I want.
Okay. I was just looking inside the game. I was just looking at their sentinel setups.
Turret out.
Oh man. Well, that's okay. I'll get to see cute dogs later on. But hey, let's see what kind of dogs does Excali have in his arsenal right now. Does he choose the Trailblazer, or does he choose Regrowth?
Not sure. Whatever he chooses, it's not gonna be used right now, because EXO have already got their first pick on the hands of Ghost, and Sai spotted out a few more, and that shock dart is gonna damage heavy. But what he doesn't know is RVK is also around this corner. He's caught over this camera in his hand, but Sai doesn't take the corner. And now EXO, their lead is slowly dwindling, but it's Wimp to get it back. RVK very low on HP, and Chivy in completely other side of the map. I don't know what exactly these two can do, but we know that they've caused damage before, and they can cause it again.
Well, if nothing, at least they've worked towards the ultimate orbs. They deliberately revealed their position with C. And with 50 seconds left, I think it's probably gonna be a fake. Yeah, there you go. Shivi's just toying around with his food. He's just creating as much noise over here as possible so that nobody will look towards garage, and that is gonna turn out to be the case because RVK is trying to move up from that place, but the turret will spot him out. So the jig is up. Everything that they've worked for so hard has been balled down to
30 seconds left.
nothing.
Yeah.
Looks like they're
Right
gonna go
here.
for it nonetheless. No more faking, just move inside. A good crossfire from Wim and Blackhawk, but at least they deal with Wim, so only Blackhawk is remaining. And he hasn't revealed his position. He's playing a one and an angle of sorts, but if he gets double peeked, he's a
Last
dead man.
player
RBK
standing.
is getting all the frags
Spike
for now,
down,
but
C.
Spike has been
10
down, which means
seconds
he has to
left.
go back to retrieve it. Barely any time left to plant, and barely any HP left anyway. EXO with the pistol.
Pretty standard issue, I feel, for them. They kind of lost it, and there it is. You can see the dog right there. Look at it. So cute. But yeah, EXO, they've had the advantage in the earlier stages of the round, and they gave it up. RVK found 3, but that's not going to be much of a problem, I believe. So they're going to be okay with this, and Force One are going to be okay with it too, as now it's the second round, and they're definitely not going to force into it, Force One. They've got a Marshall and 2 Sheriffs to play with, while the side of EXO have got all the weapons that they need to defend off the entire world.
So both the teams going for a force of sorts. Of course, there's better weapons on the side of EXO, but hey, we know how precise RBK can be with that Sheriff, and the moment I say it, he strikes. Ah, we missed it just by a little bit, but at least EXO are able to keep it competitive. Sai has been killed, but Excali brings it back. And RBK is the only one who's got killed on the side of F1 so far. Ghost was already pretty low on HP. He doesn't even connect the Marshall shot. So that's RBK getting all the frags. He's got 5 kills. His teammates have 0. That tells you everything that this man does with the Sheriff. But now they're going back towards the C site. The spike hasn't crossed over yet. If he can stop the spike from crossing over, Wimp will have decimated them right here and now. But 3 versus 3 is still a much better situation than
Spike
before.
drop.
But they don't know where the spike is. They still think that it could go towards the A side. Take a look at this. The Sky and the Astra in the form of Excali and Blackhawk are still towards the A site. Just now, Blackhawk moves towards B, but it's still not enough. They
30
won't
seconds
find out
left.
them coming towards Garage. The turret has been destroyed, so now they find out, but they can't move in towards the window because there's an alarm bot. So they're going to go back towards A instead. Excali isn't even playing from the site, so this will be given up to them. A free plant as possible.
Most certainly is. I think he's even spotted out. Now he has
Scanning ahead.
28 HP, but he's only
10
playing the
seconds
bait
left.
role so that his teammates can get the plan done, and they will. So it's not going to be all lost in this eco round. They've dropped 2 weapons, and they potentially could drop more.
Last player
No,
standing.
says Excali. He's going to take down Knight Rider. And RBK with the Sheriff is more than enough, but for now, he's going to be taken down. He did enough damage, getting down 2 players, and the plant gone down as well. So it's going to be the second round for EXO, but the economy has been restored for Force One.
Here.
Hey, but this was a pretty good eco from the side of Force 1, right?
Yeah, it was.
They got 2 kills. RBK has been getting frags left, right, and center, which means he probably should have his ultimate available already. Yes, he does. And they got the plant too, so this is perfect.
Most certainly is. You can see that still it's actually only RVK on the scoreboard. We
Yeah.
need other people to get up there. It's been 2 rounds, so that's okay though. Just
But-
around.
I mean, yeah, the scoreboard does indicate that RBK is doing well, but the team overall, they're able to make EXO dance to their whims. The rotation plays that they've been forcing out of EXO have been phenomenal so far. And this time, there's no fakes. It's a straight-up execute. Blackhawk inside the Nebula trying to make it work, but he'll be found. Still a little bit of potential in this little defense, but nope. The Cloudbursts will get the better of him, and none of the players of Team EXO were able to establish a line of sight onto their targets. They get killed blind. They probably will be robbed of this round as well. Sai, the timing! It's horrible, but he gets it nonetheless. Finally, someone is able to kill RBK.
Last player standing.
Knight Rider with his 3rd is going to take down Sai, and he's looking for his 4th. He's trying to chase Ghost from the B side, and sound cues have been given, and Ghost pulls out his Sheriff taking for this fight. Trying to find the head, but he actually does. Okay, he was tagged down 140. He's going to be okay. Now with 10 HP, bullets in his barrel, it's just going to have to go down to Shivy coming on the backstab, as EXO are going to give away the bonus. That's not a problem, to be honest. They're going to have money to buy in. As now the real test between both these teams comes up. But the thing about this round is that whoever wins this kind of, I feel, sets the tone for the first half. If they win this EXO, they're going to have a lot more of an easier time in this defensive side. But if the side of F1 win this, then I think this might just be a neck and neck battle, like, you know, maybe 6-6 or maybe 7-5.
Yeah, just like last time, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, a lot is riding on this round, and because this is such an important round, I feel that F1 have a better chance of winning, considering they've got 2 ultimates. Oh, but the first guy with the ultimate might just die. RVK almost walked away with his life. Well, at least it's still a 5v5, so they keep it competitive, and of course they can be healed. But then there's Sai. He's spotting everyone come towards the ace site. He doesn't want to fight just yet. He's comfortable letting them have the side and going for the retake. But then everyone moves in on the back of those flashes, but the kills don't come through! No, it's all gone wrong! This is horrible! They had a very good chance of taking down everyone under heaven. They were both blinded. They had the sun in their eyes, but they can't get the frags. Vim is getting consolation kills, but I don't think he's going to be going for the retake.
What's happened there? How did they let them do a drive-by and then they literally, like, it was like the Matrix. Somehow they were running under heaven and they dodged every single one of those bullets. And then as soon as the light in their eyes was gone off and they had vision of what was in front of them, they blew them up.
Plunge EXO into darkness.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know what EXO did there, but it definitely wasn't according. I mean, it definitely didn't go according to plan.
Ugh.
And now that's left Wimp all alone to save this Phantom. That's all he can do. He can't even drop anybody in the next round, and nobody can even buy up. So it's gonna be a hero Phantom playing in across, accompanied by a couple of pistols. And yeah, Force 1 already putting the pressure on EXO. And they're gonna have probably round number 3 on the board now, given the state of the things of EXO in this round.
Hey, but you can't take everything away from them. EXO on eco rounds, they get a lot deadlier than usual. They start pushing out in these places, which you wouldn't even expect. And given their positions right now, I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Look at the aggressive push from the Killjoy down in Ace Subers. That's a shot in the heart if he manages to connect it. Doesn't find anyone there, so now they still know that F1 are on mid, but Blackhawk is able to get the kill onto RVK. That's the man with the ultimate down. Neural Theft no longer online. If he's able to sneak into this corner, that would be great, but Ghost checks him, and the Blaze Storm is paying off dividends. That's great, but Knight Rider now in the back lines. His teammates have set up the perfect bait, but he dashes into his enemy's face, and Sai will delete all the dreams of them making this round work. Imagine winning the most important round of the first half, only to lose the Thrifty next. This is worse.
Oh
F1 might have been able to win that all-important round that we spoke about, but if they lose this one, they have nothing to work off of. Their economy will be shattered. They luckily have a little bit of spare money onto Knight Rider and Chevy, so they can still afford weapons, but EXO will be right back in this one. And 10 HP on Scar God, he's basically a dead man walking. Turns around at the worst time too. The moment he reloads, Excali knows he needs to peek. That's his cue to finish the Thrifty.
They pick up weapons, they've got upgrades that don't really hurt their economy, and look at that. EXO, what a great Thrifty round, and just like you said it, Trips, they are deadly when they are on pistols, and they've shown that. They push out mid, they try to get something done towards A main, and then it's Blackhawk and Ghost to try and make things work towards C long, and it worked. Now EXO have put Force 1 in a bit of an awkward buy. There are a few half armor plays over here, but I'm not quite sure if that's gonna hurt them too much. Scally's gonna be a little hurt though. Eats a shock dart at the tip of his toes. That's not gonna hurt him too much. RVK spotted out. Not gonna matter though. Garage has not been taken in yet, but Excali's been found out and he's gonna retreat immediately. 5 versus 5, still in position. No casualties yet, but a lot of ultimates available on Force 1. And there it is. As soon as I say it, one of them comes into play. They're trying to make it work, and here comes the opposite. Nightmare has already found X Ghost, though, and he's going to get another whip Ghost down, and the seaside is up for grabs.
You have to realize the importance of both these Hunter Furies. One of them was used by F1 to get them into sight. The other one was used by EXO to keep them off of it. But the moment they enter, it's a bloodbath. All 5 players of EXO end up fighting them on the seaside, trade upon trade. And when the dust settles, F1 stands on top.
They most certainly do. I love the approach that they took it. They waited for they waited for Shivy to find some value, and as soon as that Hunter 3 went down, Knight Rider knew that this was his opportunity. Dashes in, didn't even need a line of sight. He knew that that Radiant box was spammable, and he got the kill through, and followed that up with another one. And after that, EXO just fell apart like dominoes. And now, it's a really awkward buy for EXO. It's like an exchange of awkward buys that keeps going back and forth. This
I
time,
know, right?
Yeah, now it's 3 rifles with 2 sheriffs, and I don't know if this is gonna work. But Ghost wants to make it work. He might just find. Oh my god, nasty
Disgusting.
little bugger. How are these guys more potent on pistols than on rifles?
Indian Valorant and Force Spies. A relationship more toxic than Rachel and Ross.
Right there.
But hey, now that they have got all the opening frags, can they capitalize on it? Maybe ScarGod can make it work, but he's been stunned, he's been full, and Ghost gets his second one tap of the round. Oh, Shiffy just survived. He could have been killed right there. Doesn't realize how much danger he was inside, but now that Excali's watching this crossing, he can see him. And he knows where Shivy is.
One
And he
enemy
peeks!
remaining.
Black Hook also
Spike
right
down
there!
A.
Spike's been dropped and Knight Rider has a big responsibility on his shoulders.
1v4. Probably 1 kill if he's lucky. Probably not 2, because I don't think Excali or Blackhawk are going to peek that angle. Wimp will, though. He's going to take him down before he goes down completely. And that bird, okay, that bird just had... Okay. I could see it.
It's
That
the
bird was-
second time in a row that EXO have been able to pull off an unorthodox buy.
Yeah. I don't know
mean-
what really this is, but EXO clearly... You know what? Let's just drop it. You know what, guys? Don't buy anything. Play on sheriffs, dude. Just leave. Leave
Yeah.
the weapons you have. Just
It's
leave
like
it.
this weird confidence that comes into their veins whenever they have these sheriffs. Like they know they've got nothing to lose. So they're like, why not? Let's just go and fight. And they win those fights then.
Placing sentry. Get out of my way.
Yeah, they do. And now here comes the ultimate from the side of Force One. They've got the knives out from Knight Rider. He's looking towards B. Sai is definitely going to spot him out unless he dashes in. And he's going to be supported.
Spike
Excali takes care of his teammate. And Sai to add on to the misery that Force One is feeling right now. As another weird advice from Force One is going to cost them a little bit
Player
of trouble.
standing.
Yeah, surprisingly, Force One are not that good on their eco rounds as EXO are. EXO were able to win their ecos. When it comes down to F1, they can barely cause a scratch. But then maybe I spoke to Spoon. ScarGod saw his life flash before his eyes the moment he peeked that angle. There were 3 people staring at him. A dink is all that he can manage.
Yeah, but also it's the second time that Wimp ate a bullet to the head and survived. Last round it was with Knight Rider. This time it was with ScarGod.
What kind of helmet is he wearing?
I have no idea. Maybe it's the hat, isn't it? The green hat, maybe.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, maybe. It's a protector
green
of
hat.
sorts.
Yeah, definitely. Give everyone a hat. Brimstone has a hat, but it's ugly.
I mean, it's ugly if you choose to call it, but I think he thinks it's cool. But right now, Ghost is the cool one. He takes out his scope at the wrong time and eats a shock dart right to his knee. He's gonna get hurt by it. And look at Blackhawk. Escape.
Come on, check.
Gets in a good position. Finds 2. Looking for a third. Jumping classic. Not gonna allow him though. Picks up another weapon. And here is ScarGod stuck in a position which is gonna eat him up alive.
One enemy remaining. Long.
Oh,
Yeah,
this is a massacre.
Massacre indeed. Oh my god. Alright. EXO are turning up the heat now. They've got 6-3. And it's getting a little bit warm over here on Haven. And the thing about Force One's buys are that for the last 3 rounds, they've had so irregular buys that it's caused the scoreline to come up, right, Crips? And they have a proper buy now. It still have 2 half armor players. So they're still not up to the point where they want their economy to be. Because if they lose this round, it's yet again an eco.
Oh, eco rounds once again. They need to make this one count though. But given how aggressively Ghost is playing, I don't think that F1 will ever get a chance. Maybe this drone can spot him out. But it doesn't tag him, so no pre-fires available. At least they know where the operator is, so they know better not to peek him. But you gotta consider
Here.
this. Every time Ghost is able to get in this position, he's basically denying entry to F1 over here, forcing them to go elsewhere. And they're taking their chances towards Garage, where Blackhawk is just playing hide and seek with RBK, trying to shoot either through the woodworks. And they've got a healer, so he doesn't need to worry about being low on health. Unfortunately, no healers available on the side of F1, so they're down a man, and they're losing HP. They've taken control of Garage, but where do they go from here? Shimmy will still be safe. Spike hasn't been spotted yet, but things are starting to get a little heated up because look at the backstab coming in from the side of Xtali. He's trying to move up towards mid, and he might just get into a duel against RBK. Oh, he survives that duel. That's great. But now that they have confirmed that F1 are still inside Garage, we can chill over here. Oh no, Whip wasn't supposed to beat that. This could be the opportunity that F1 capitalize on.
30
Blackhawk,
seconds left.
he hasn't been checked yet, and this is perfect. The flash does get him in the end, but at least he's able to drop the spike, buying them more time. Xcali on the backside now. He was spotted towards the B side first, so they probably won't expect him to get, but Starcore checks every angle and turns around to get Ghost. He's so good. He's so fast, but Zai's even faster. Good for only one though. They recover, and Force1 Esports still in this game. They don't quit.
That round was really, really intense. They tried so hard, and they had to take Garage. They had so many fights coming in, 1-for-1 trades, back and forth, but Force1 come out on top of Scargod's heroics. Xcali, I think he kind of second-guessed somebody coming in from his close right and somebody coming from the far right, and that confusion caused him to be a little disoriented, and that gave away his life. But Force1, they're gonna make sure that they capitalize upon that, and now they have round number 4, but the operator's still active on the hands of Ghost. Sorry, Xcali this time actually, and he's gonna make it sing. This time, they're not gonna be any casualties. They're gonna play this smooth, slow, and easy because XO know they need to win out this half in order to have a chance at beating F1 in their defensive half. Here comes the Hunter's Fury. Wimp might just get spotted out, but he's gonna get taken down. Knight Rider. Oh my god, Knight Rider, what are you doing? How is this guy allowed to escape like this?
I know
It's the
exactly
second
where
time
you are.
that is the exact same situation. Hunter's Fury comes in, he dashes in, finds a 2K, and the site's open just like that.
Yeah, but the retake is still on. 3 people, 2 of them having ultimates. Blackhawk has his Nebula, and the Hunter's Fury will clear out all the common angles of the C side. It's the same Hunter's Fury that F1 used, but this time it doesn't pay too many dividends. Nitro with his 3rd kill off the round, now with a bigger weapon in his hands, has to stand stall in this 2v2. Taken down.
remaining.
What? RBK
Last
with the
player
backstab has been
standing.
taken care of, down to a 1v1. It's both the Sovas up against each other, and Shibby with a stylish frag. That's how you make a statement. A bold one at that.
Last round before the
that
switch.
was really close. Shivy, the only advantage he had was having Sai down low. He was up to full HP. Lucky for him, as the initial stages of that round almost looked like EXO were going to run away with it, with Xcali's operator singing in. But they still have it. How is their buy so deep? They still have an operator. They still have economy. And it's the last round, so they bought up everything they could. And now this time it's going to be Ghost playing with that operator, standing in the same site. Only this time just a little above the ground level. But nobody's going to be picking him, as the A side looks to be ambushed by Force1.
Yeah, but will they go for a fake of sorts? I mean, we have seen them do it before. Luckily for the side of Force1, XO aren't making any aggressive plays. So they're not going hunting for information. They're just waiting for Force1 to make their move. And they believe in their retake capabilities enough to let them have the sight. Oh no, Sai got shot through the walls. Won't even get a chance. But consider this. Oh, he only had 1 up drop, so he can't even make that one work. But the silver lining is they have the lockdown and the cosmic divide, so the lockdown will force all the attackers off of the side, and then they can use the cosmic divide to lock them out long and short. But they're not leaving just yet. They're trying to leave, and the moment they do, Shivi will be caught. It's about to get popped, and Rafa gets detained. But there is a backstab in the form of RBK. If he walks in quickly enough, he could stop this. Knight Rider on top has an angle onto the spike, but now the Cosmic Divide will cover him. Xcali, he's been taken down by RBK. He comes in from behind, and the jumping shot from Knight Rider. What on earth was that? Hit me the replay button because I want to see
Switching
that
sides.
again.
That was really, really smooth. Knight Rider, he's just so good with his skills. I mean, whether it's the knives, whether it's the operator, whether it's the rifle, he's just so damn good, dude.
Yeah.
RVK with his lurks, even better. Perfect timing, knew exactly when to find the, you know, spacing between, the timing between him running in towards the side and him waiting to catch out the backstab.
Yeah. And you gotta consider how much trust his teammates have in him. Rafa deliberately got detained. He gave up his life in a very humiliating fashion, only so that he could set up RBK for success. That's how much trust his teammates have in him. His timing has been immaculate. And even though RBK is sitting at only 6 frags right now, all those 6 frags have been super impactful. 5 of them in the first 4 rounds, and then this one to win the round. Unfortunately, the pistol doesn't seem to be going too well for the side of F1 as they have lost their star fragger, Rafa. Now where are they? Spotted out Shivy. They also spotted out Scargod and Knight Rider in this area. But Knight Rider, even though he was checked, he goes uncontested. The Sheriff reigning supreme. Back to a 4v4. Now, here's the question I have in mind. Have they spotted the spike yet? Oh, even if they haven't, now they will.
Oh
and
my
Knight Rider gets away with
Spike
murder. He goes
down
back for
A.
more, only to be shut down by Ghost. A little greedy over there, but he's done enough damage, and the overall HP advantage now lies in the hands of F1. Even the rotations are here, so this is great. If anyone decides to push up Shivi, they will be revealed. So this is going to boil down time even more, allowing for the retakes to come through. But
player
no,
standing.
even with the retake members there, the site falls.
But Scargard, he could stop the plan, and he will!
Spike down
He just
A.
was walking, and then he decided, you know what, just screw it, I'm gonna
Enemy
jump
remaining.
in, and he gets
30
another!
seconds left.
Scargard is making this really painful for EXO, and I'm not quite sure he knows where Sai is. He's looking in the right direction, but he's gonna let him come to the spike, I believe, because Scargard does not need to go anywhere, and he's gonna get it! A
Hey,
1v3
people,
clutch
come on
for
now.
the young
I'm
man right there.
anticipating my
And it's gonna be
congratulations.
Force 1 to put up the pistol in the second half, and it's pretty much exactly what happened in the previous half, previous map, Chris. This is how it went down. This is how it went down.
Play some Astro
Yeah,
was-
on the back of those individual heroics,
Yep.
so many of these rounds went in the favor of F1. We have Scargod entering the sewers and digging out the round for his team. The pistol win was super important, and with this, they can afford to purchase weapons. Hey, but keep in mind, XO and Ecos. Pretty healthy relationship of those two. They should be able to get a little bit of damage in at least. Maybe, if nothing else, then a spike plant.
Maybe. They've got all 5 players over here, and 2 of whom,
One
3 of
enemy
whom,
remaining.
4 of whom have already been taken down. And never mind, the eco not gonna work this time around. It's gonna be Force 1 to get the issue sorted out pretty quickly, with a lot of spray downs coming in with those specters. And yeah, there's nothing much they could do about it.
They didn't have the
Fortunately-
sheriffs.
Yeah, they didn't have the sheriffs.
And then one
Exactly.
sheriff, maybe. I think it was either on Ghost or maybe on Sai. I don't remember who had it, but
You know the best part? Rafa and Shivi both went down towards A main. Rafa just literally released his entire mag, but Shivi got the last bits of HP and got all the kills right there.
Yeah.
Poor guy had to run away.
one tags him, the other one frags him.
Yeah.
Tag team duo.
absolutely.
Taking that back.
Good duo so far. Are they going to be able to hold up against the buy that comes in? There is an operator available on Knight Rider already. He just bought it for safe measure. He knows that he needs to take this fight head on. And he has bought in that big bad weapon. But EXO are not keen
My
on
ult's
peeking.
not- no target.
Ghost? Oh, wait. What was he thinking of doing there?
I have no idea, but RBK will be very happy with the result. Knight Rider with the operator. The moment those spokes fade, they're gonna be staring down in the battles of death.
Zoom it.
But Knight Rider doesn't even
One
need to do
enemy
anything. His teammates are already here, and this is a trap. A full stack on the C side, and XO walk right into it.
I really don't understand what exactly Ghost did there. I understand that if you wanted to just, peek out of the smoke for a single second and try to find information to see where exactly who is, but that's, my boy, you're writing down your own death sentence, because the minute they see you, they're gonna spam down like nothing is ever available in the world. They're just gonna spam down, rain down bullets like there's nothing else, and they got the kill pretty easily. kind of gave away the round, to be honest, from Ghost, but...
No more.
Okay. Alright, okay, Shivy. Back to his usual tactics.
Yeah, he
Straight
doesn't
after
need
smoke.
doesn't need the recon dot for any of that.
Doesn't need anything. He just needs his eyes looking at the smoke, not knowing where the opponents are. And hey, you know what, guys? I'm just gonna get another kill over here. Don't worry about it. And Sai's gonna probably get a kill. Oh my god, that was close. I thought Snyder was looking at him. Yeah.
Yeah, I really thought that they knew about Sai's position, but the moment the Astra ran past, I thought, nah, they have no idea. Still, giving up your AWPer on the B side is not that big of a problem because you still got the man advantage. And the best part is, with all this, all these numbers available on you, you can keep an area under check on every part of the map. Shimmy, once again, able to defend the A side, but RBK falls to its seat, and the Nanoswarm will stop the Astra from coming through. No, he snuck past, which means he can still defend this one. They won't peek him all at the same time, and of course he will win those 1v1 aim duels.
Our god is really precise and crisp with his aim when he's on his best. And this was a showcase of that very aim. EXO, unfortunately, they weren't an eco, so not too much of a harm done, but it is number 10 for Force 1. And they're slowly slipping away. We possibly could see the third map come in over here, Crips. And I'm not quite sure EXO are ready to see that. Because Force 1 are forcing the issue, and they're trying to take dominance over this entire map of Haven. We know they chose this for a reason, and I know that I said that EXO might take this one, but I think I might have to just eat up my own words by the way that they're playing.
Hey, this is the regular Gauntlet curse. If one team wins the map pick, the other one has to win the other. And yeah, sure, the map pick of EXO was split, but it does happen to be the stronger map of F1. But this time EXO seem like they don't want this to go into overtime. Unless Gargot has something to say about it. Of course, he's got a big mouth and a bigger gun.
Okay,
Nice stuff, but that's pretty much it.
Blackhawk was looking on top of the platform, not on the back of sight, and he just got blown away into nothingness. But EXO have got a round in their bag, the 7th. And this is the first round that they've put on board in the second half. So, start of something. But they have a lot more work to do. Knight Rider with the upper, they're going to be able to save it. Excalibur peeks out, but it's at the wrong time. Knight Rider, we know he is one of the most potentially impactful players on F1. And he has had a pretty good game so far. 14 and 13 on the scoreboard.
But keep this in mind. The major overall scoreline that you have to pay attention towards now is the 7-10 coming in from EXO. And this is impactful because EXO have lost the last 4 rounds in a row. They were able to afford weapons in this round because of max loss bonus. And they win this one. And now they're at the camel's back on top of it. If they lose this round, their economy will be in the dumpster. This will be the straw that breaks the camel's back. F1 need to win this anyhow. If they win this one, they will cripple EXO's economy all the way up until map point. For the next 2 rounds in a row, F1 should be able to win, provided they win this one. A very fast, aggressive push towards mid. EXO using all the flashes to get up close to grass, but there's no defenders on the B side. In fact, any defenders that were present towards A have now abandoned the site and gone all the way up towards Lobby. They're gonna leave Rafa over there. But after losing control of A, EXO make up for it by going towards B. Ghost already inside, nobody else to follow up, so he's gonna be the one guy who needs to make a play over here. But Sai makes the play. That's the opportunity they were looking for. And Rafa won't be allowed to fall back. He needs to pick up these fights. He needs to win these battles. He can see them being healed, but no, RBK, his curiosity leads to his death, and the reflexes of Knight Rider as quick as a cat. They are really, really strong. The 2 alive players on the side of F1 have not been checked.
Oh no!
Shivy! He is perfect! Trigger discipline is amazing, and then he moves inside. He switches over to the Phantom, and somehow Blackhawk will take care of him before it's too late. But the Blade Storm, not as impactful as Knight Rider hoped it would be.
Oh my god, Shivy. He could have been probably having the play of his life over there.
Yeah, and he turns around, looks at the vault so that his gun battle doesn't stick out.
You know, the nerve he has to know that, you know what, guys, they're not going to check me here. I'm just going to see the wall.
Yeah.
Adore how beautiful the color of the wooden plank in front of me is.
Nice varnish on it.
Yeah, and the nerve to hold that shows the virtue of a great player. And now, although EXO have won out that round, Force One, they're not too uncomfortable. They still have a 2-round lead, and they've got a bye in this round as well. They can afford to play a little bit more aggressively. Oh boy, the recon. Oh, that's great, actually.
Yeah.
Gives out info. Ghost has to go back because he knows he can't take this fight. There's probably going to be 2 players coming upon him, and there are. And Knight Rider is holding his back. Yeah, and he's going to run away. Ghost gets back to safety. But F1 are pressing on the issue. They know that this hit is not towards a 3-man flank. How often do you see that?
Not very often. And Knight Rider finally blows off that green cap of wind. More to follow as Rafa also displays his firing prowess. Scar got to hold this area for as long as possible. He's got RBK to back him up. They've completely abandoned Garage and B. They know for a fact that XO are trapped towards the T-spawn and the C-long corridor, but the spike's been killed, and that's basically what F1 needed. More to follow as F1 just do not want to stop. They want to pick all these fights. And Ghost left in a 1v5. Virtually impossible with 30 seconds left on the clock. He's a dead man waiting to be buried.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, pretty much so. And there it is. RVK puts the nail in his coffin. The final nail as the 11 comes up for Force One. They're going to be responding back in fashion. But that was so well played by Force One. The orchestra that was played towards that A main and A short position was so good. They somehow knew that it was only Ghost over there, right? And the minute he walked away, 2 pushed A short, and there was Knight Rider holding on A long, and he knew that there was nobody A long. So all 3 of them conversed, and they gave a call to RVK and Scar saying, guys, don't worry, we've got this entirely under control. And all they had to do was hold their ground, and EXO were just tumbling down like a bunch of rolling pins.
Rolling pins? Yeah, that's colorful. Not as colorful as 5 ultimates being available in 1 round on the side of EXO, and then 4 more on F1. 9 ultimates in total. Oh boy. Looks like we're about to see the big guns now, aren't we? Still no aggression from the side of F1. This is great. Usually they push out towards A lobby whenever they get the chance, but this time they've only got Rafa present over there in short, and he doesn't spot anyone, so that's a clear indication that EXO are coming towards the C site where Knight Rider lies in wait.
You are divided!
Knight Rider holding on. He's watching Garage still.
I've got
He's
your
got
trail.
Scar got to support, and he sees the jet dashing in, and he gets Black Ops, and it's gonna be nothing for Ghost as the 12th round looks inevitable for Force One. Excali though, he says otherwise. He's got 2. A blinded Scar God, and the Knight Rider jumping up and down. And now with the spike in his hands as well, he's got 2 flashes.
30
Not
seconds
too much
left.
HP. Nobody on the flank, so he can play around, but he's got no time. And that's the problem. 20 seconds left. Cannot run towards the A side. Cannot go towards B because they're watching down that avenue as well. Excali can do nothing but save here. The minute he peeks out towards mid, he's got
10 seconds left.
Rafa waiting for him. But he chooses otherwise. He goes to the spawn where he's going to be spawned in just a couple of seconds. It's a wise decision. He might find RVK. Will he though? No, he won't. RVK even takes him down. And EXO are hit exactly where it hurts the most.
Match point.
Ah, the curse. It's back. I mean, it's not technically a curse because XO were the ones who picked up Split, right? So,
Fair enough, yeah.
yeah, I mean, we all know that F1 is the stronger team on Split, but EXO were able to beat them on their own home turf, so obviously F1 will return the favor by beating EXO on Haven. It looks like Ascent is inevitable.
It most certainly is. And now we've got a desperate EXO trying to push up towards A. We've got Ghost who misses. Oh my god, okay, that was kind of a really scary route there, right there. Knight Rider puts an end to Ghost though. No, he's okay. This guy, somebody stop him,
Spike
dude.
down A.
He's just so damn good. And he's not even backing out. Now he does. But he's gonna get stunned. Sai actually tries to kill onto him. but it's gonna be Skargot to trade back. Excali with another, and the 2v2 now established. And here comes the neural theft from RVK, and he knows where they are, and they're pushing right back towards C. They know that both the players are here. The plan is definitely gonna go down, but is the round gonna go down in their favor?
Neural theft comes through, but it seems like XO will steal the spike. And they make their way to its site. Now that the tripwires are being destroyed, they know exactly what's happening. Both the players moving in together from C long.
Pulling them in.
They can't plant for this position. They will have to plant on the backside and hopefully make the cross towards the defender spawn entrance, which is something they're not doing just yet. In fact, they haven't even started planting. And the tap from Blackhawk, so nice.
30 seconds left.
RBK has done wonders in this half, but he needs to pull out a cat out of the bag to complete the magic trick. But the magician has no tricks left.
Indeed. He didn't even have a hat left because he threw down for the neural theft, but...
that's exactly why I said cat out of the bag, not cat out of the hat.
1 second, peeps.
Yeah.
I could pull rabbits out of the hat, but not cats. I don't know, some sort of stupid magician trick.
Well, isn't his thing kind of like a spider? Like what he pulls out of his hat? His hat becomes a spider, right? Like sort of.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that?
Yeah.
Becomes kind of a spider, like a...
It's funny how we were just discussing No Way Home in the break.
Interesting. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that later, though. We got a 9-12 scoreline, and EXO's life in the balance right now. At least in this map, not in the series. Have been showing some form of virtue that can allow them to win this map, but so far, it's gonna be really difficult situation. Look at where RVK's pushed up, though. He's got C completely under his control, and this is gonna cause EXO another bit of problems because we've seen that there's multiple times been in this map. They haven't really checked their corners, and this could be another one of them. And look at that.
Spike down. C.
Look at this guy. He gets
RBK.
2.
And he's got Spike too. Make it 3 as he almost dings down side. But here's the funny thing. Ghost would have been able to get the kill on the Astra if the flash did not come through. Skargot was revealed. I mean, Skargot's position was a little better because he was able to read that play. Now Sai has a 1v4 to pull off, and the map on the line, RVK will shut him down.
Defenders win.
Really nice executes from the side of XO, but unfortunately they were not enough as F1 take matters into their own hands.
Oh my god. EXO, they had a really good chance. They had a good first half, but they gave away that first half as well as it came down to 6-6. Second half started off with that pistol going in the way of Force 1. After that, it was smooth sailing for them at least until round 10. That's when Force 1 gave away 2 rounds, but immediate strike back. Almost instantaneous. And they had everything under control. I think most of it was just EXO, who gave away so many rounds just by the chance of not checking corners. And let's go to the match highlights to see how exactly it all turned out, because the thing about this is, Crips, that we saw, this was, I don't know how many times we saw it, that these corners were not being checked. And EXO really need to take care of this, because this is a problem that they need to look at this, stuff like this, right? I mean, I know that he saw one player there dash out, and that's kind of like a bait that almost had it for RVK. But the thing about this level of play is that you never know. That's the whole point of it. And there were rounds in that A short where Shivy hit with that pistol that could have probably been the end of them. And it was mostly economical damage, because every kill they got, even though it was on pistols, was hurting them and hurting their money, right? And that's not a good thing, because it's always going to hurt you in the long run more so than if you think, you know what, guys, I have money. I can buy half armor and a Vandal, half armor and a Phantom. I'm going to be okay. But it hurts you in the long run because you don't have... Yeah.
Like, they were okay. Maybe not in the long run, but there were some thrifty rounds that EXO was able to pull off. Those were pretty impressive. Some of them on the back of some Sheriff plays, some of them on the back of just classic and shorty bursts. Spectres, of course, were relevant every now and then, but it really just is so satisfying to watch all those Sheriff one-taps. Of course, there were some failed rounds as well. Like, for example, this one, the flashes were perfect, but the spray downs just simply did not come through. They just didn't connect. And then they make up for it over the top by winning the next one. Stuff like this is what EXO keep on doing that kind of makes us wonder, is this by design, or is it something that F1 just managed to get lucky at? Did they just, catch EXO making too many mistakes? Or were these errors forced out? That's the question that I still don't have the answer to. And I think that's something that we'll probably leave for Aggressive when he comes online in the analyst desk. But yeah, considering how both the teams have been able to win a map each, I honestly can't predict what's going to happen in Ascent.
Yeah, neither can I. It's going to be a hell of a matter to take care of on Ascent because, to be honest, it's an even playing ground. I don't know who's going to win this one out. It's going to be completely unexpected. F1 look like they have the upper hand right now, at least, because on the map of Split, EXO were made to sweat completely until 2 overtimes to win out their home map.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas here, wasn't really that much of a problem in the end game for Force One. 13-9 is a scoreline that they will live with pretty peacefully. And now that we go to Ascent, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a lot to talk about. But for now, we're going to take a short break to assess everything that's happened and set everything that is to come, as we are going to see Force One and EXO beat it out to see who's going to end up in the lower brackets.
Hey South Asia Valorant players, I'm Sean Garris.
It's Kusta.
And Michael from Genji Valorant here with some really exciting news.
We have teamed up with LG Ultragear and the Esports Club for Season 2 of the Gauntlet.
The winner of Tec Gauntlet Season 2 will receive an exclusive one-on-one mentoring session with our Valorant team to help identify areas of improvement in their game to prepare for a higher level of gameplay.
In addition to that, we're going to be reacting to some of the top plays throughout this competition. Guys, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so make sure you don't miss out on this. Good luck to everyone competing from everyone here at Genji Valorant.
Well, we had a quick short break and we're back as quickly as we could be, ladies and gentlemen. So welcome back to the LG Ultragear presents Tec Gauntlet Season 2, powered by WD Black and AMD Ryzen Radeon. We have had a pretty lengthy set of 2 maps so far. It's been an overtime on the first one, and the second one on Haven seemed like it was almost an overtime, but it was Force 1 to dominate the rest of that latter half of that map and get it out for us to come to Ascent. And now that we're coming over here, let's dive in quickly into this agent selection. And Crips, I wanted to take it away from you.
Pretty standard Ascent lineup. I mean, this is one of those maps where you're given the freedom to do whatever you want. So I thought maybe we'll see a couple of wacky plays or some weird agent selections, but none of that. A double initiator on the side of XO and a double duelist on F1. And both those duelists are not the ones you want to have with flashes. Both of them are focused on movement. Yeah, the dashes and the satchels. This basically means that F1 want to play a very fast game, which is great because EXO have the perfect counter for it. The double initiator setup should allow them all the early information that F1 are planning to give away, or not for that matter. But yeah, the double initiator versus double duelist, it's gonna be pretty standard. Jasova and the Astra picks, pretty much expected. Killjoy, of course, the default choice of Sentinel over here.
Select your
And
agent.
the thing about the lineup for EXO is it's exactly the same as the previous map. Haven and Ascent have the same lineup, so I'm not quite sure why Excali opted to go for the Sky yet again when I think the Sova would have sufficed. He probably could have gone for the Raze or the Reyna himself, but hey, whatever he's feeling up to, it's good for him, as we're gonna see Force 1 now come up with their double duelist setup yet again. This time, Rafa's playing on his resident agent. It's the Raze, and we're gonna see how exactly he's gonna be terrorizing the streets of Ascent, and whether or not EXO can handle it, because we know how good he is. He had a first game completely amazing, second game rather silent, and the third game he's playing the Raze. So, you know, it's probably good to say that Raze is probably the best agent for Rafa. No matter
It's
what
about
map it
comfort
is.
picks. It's about comfort picks as much as you want. I'm even surprised by the fact that Escali is comfortable with Sky even after she's been nerfed. So yeah. I mean, with this thing, Excali is going to have to flash for his teammates rather than flash for himself because of the new delay that they've added with her flash animations. But XO, playing aggressively towards B, not finding anyone, will definitely, you know, give away the fact that the side of F1 are very keen on attacking A. Excali playing ahead of the one-way, making sure that the angle's available. Blackhawk is strapped inside binary, nobody to deal with him because the backup is amazing. He's able to heal everyone, even from this corner. Oh god, this is nasty. Finally, Knight Rider has something to say about this one, but he spots too many defenders over here. His responsibility passed on to RBK to liberate the site, but he will fall. His head taken clean off his shoulders. And Blackhawk now has full HP. All 3 defenders on A, the 2 remaining attackers on A as well. The Spy Golem, though, is making its way towards D spawn. Kenneth gets towards B quickly enough. Shiggy's still over here. He's still hoping to sell the fake, but nobody will buy it, and Knight Rider has nothing left. He's got a foot in the grave already.
Yikes.
His headstone about to be placed, unless he can click a couple of heads and clutch the round. And he's got time, too. And the best part about this one is that the 2 remaining players in XO don't have enough HP.
30
Excali has
seconds
run out of healing. And with the Sheriff, 1 bullet is enough to kill them both. 55 damage from 1 bullet of Sheriff. And the healthiest player is Excali with 50 HP. And he's still going towards mid. He wants to keep his options open. He wants to fight them towards the A site. Oh, this could be big, but he needs to move quickly. 10 seconds left. I don't
10
think he
seconds
has
left.
the time to go for the plant. He's just gonna have to fight this one, and the fighting he will do.
No!
Ouch! Ouch! Embarrassing. That is disgusting. Excali
No
with the
way.
bad manners. I don't think he even anticipated the Jet to be in that corner. He was just moving around with his knife out, hoping to go towards the B side, and he's like, ah, sure, why do I switch to a gun? Just stab him.
In the face.
Skewer him. Yeah. Turn him into Sheikh Kebab and stick that rod in his mouth. He's already roasted him, so yeah, Sheikh Kebab is complete.
Oh my god, okay. And while Crips is trying to get me hungry, I'm gonna see how hungry can the players of Force 1 get. And Rafa definitely wants that ultimate orb. And he's gonna try and move around that recon that just detected him. While the rest of his team is actually progressing towards A short. RVK gonna be the first point of contact. He walks out and that, oh my god, that turret actually doesn't detect him. And Knight Rider finds the better of Wimp. That's gonna cause a lot of discomfort. Excali gonna try and ease that up a bit. He gets one kill, blinds out a couple. He's going up close towards mid. Sai is gonna take care of Knight Rider. Rafa towards B has actually creeped in towards that small little cubby. And he's gonna be stuck there for the rest of his life. Because he knows that there's prayers probably around him. And as soon as his A sound has been given in of the ultimate orb being taken, Rafa's gonna try and make some moves. Oh my god, how is he allowed to come in so far?
Exactly. He's like a sneaky ninja. But Ghost isn't relinquishing this area at all. He is still very keen on holding B. Which could be
30
disastrous
seconds
because the
left.
spike is heading in his direction. And if Rafa passes on the information that he is safe, then this could be the spike being dropped right here. At least we have the Killjoy still making presence known towards the A side, so they will keep a couple of players over there. But now there's very little time remaining. Shivi has made it to the site. He can go
10
for the
seconds
plant, and Rafa's position has been known. Or not. They don't check him. Oh, but he doesn't get the shot. Excali is able to finish him. Shivi will finish the
player
job what
standing.
Rafa started, but all of them are falling like flies, and RBK doesn't have his nanoswarms on the spike, which means he can't stop the defuse from happening. But at least they were able to get the plant, so that's something, right?
Yeah,
Just one
that
good
is
thing
something.
about F1. Every time they're on an eco, they don't win. EXO have been able to pull off a couple of eco wins, but F1 at least make the spike plant happen so that they have some money going in the next round. And they won't be forced to come online with light shields and vandals. They'll have their heavy weaponry, heavy shields as well. Maybe extra utility too. So things are starting to look up.
Yeah, they are. They've got a buy completely stacked in. It's Vandals and Phantoms across the board. Now it's EXO on the bonus. And they're going in aggressively towards B as I would expect them to. It's gonna give a little bit of an avenue for RVK to probably find a push kill, but it's gonna be Blackhawk actually who finds a kill towards the A main position. And if that was through the smoke, I'm gonna be a little bit surprised because Blackhawk usually doesn't get a lot of those. But if he has, it's special. Now Wimp, yet again, A short, spots out one, tries to escape, almost had a couple of bullets coming in his way. But his Nanoswarm is going to do just enough damage as Rafa is looking to find Blackhawk towards A main. Shivi with his drone could help out with that info, but he doesn't really spot too much.
Seekers have been committed towards the B side, so they're also trying to find out if anyone is indeed present over here. But they know that one person is present towards mid. Now they know two. Rafa's been killed towards the A side, so even though EXO are aware about the fact that there are players on mid, they don't know where they will be heading, whether it's A or B. But Excali's push could give them what they need, but he's missed all the shots, and that's the man advantage neutralized. The only person who can stop them from crossing right now is Ghost, but he's playing a very aggressive angle. Repositions, will have to pick up a fight against Scargod, but he's let him pass. That's gonna be the spike carrier in the site, safely reach the home turf. Can he pull off this one though? 3v3, Shivi's playing for the market angle, and he got Wimp. He even detects Sai, so now he doesn't have to worry too much. Oh, the reload at the worst time possible. Sai wants to capitalize on this, but only a dig. Unfortunately, it's not enough. And F1, on the other hand, these guys are good enough for their first round. A really clean and methodical round for them. And they were able to win it despite the overwhelming odds of the information that EXO had. they had Excali push out all the way from B. The Seekers didn't spot anyone. They knew that there are people coming towards the mid area. They also knew that if they can stop the spike carrier on mid, that will be the round then and there. And Excali had the chance to do so, but he gets turned around and slapped on. That's when they lost the round. That was the moment.
Yeah, it was the moment. Now, with Force One pushing back, they've given up a little bit of ground for EXO to breathe in, which is the bite that they have, except for Blackhawk, who's got a Sheriff. So, disoriented by coming in yet again, as Sai actually eats a... What did he... Oh, he got hit by the pain shells. Okay. I was like, I just saw him lost a couple of HP, and I was like, how the hell did that happen? There's no way that somebody, you know, shot a laser beam through the walls or something.
Speaking of laser beams, Shrivi is 1 point away from his ultimate, so maybe we'll get to see that soon.
Yeah, that looks like he can pick up the ultimate orb towards A main if he chooses to go there.
Yeah, it's not like it's been contested too heavily.
Yeah, and now
There is
EXO.
Wimp, and he's holding from the site. He's got the backup of Excali, but together, the both of them probably will not be able to hold on to A. And XO, their lack of information might just cost them the round, because two players are still heavily stacked on B, and that too in the boathouse. Not even in a position where it's easier or faster for them to rotate. But now that this A side attack is telegraphed, Wimp position, going and check will be massive. The Hunter Screen will finally get him, but that's completely okay because he's done his job, turned into a 3-3. The final laser beam tags Blackhawk, and now it's turned into a 2v2. But Blackhawk, nice shot over there, drops the spike. But time running out. They don't deny the plant.
10 seconds
But
left.
hey, this will still be possible. Shivi's position could be of crucial importance. And he does stand up at the task, but there's too many people on his screens. And that's it. It's back to a 3-1. XO Esports. They stumble a little, but they've managed to climb back up on their feet again.
Yeah, they do. Third on the board, and they're going to make sure that Force One do not run away with this one this time around. But this is exactly the sort of thing that happens to them, and it has happened to them. It's like they have the first initial advantage in the map when they go up by a couple of rounds, and then the first half sort of falls on its own feet, because the first map we had a 6-6 half, second map we had a 6-6 half, and third map could also have that if EXO don't hold up their end of the bargain, which is to keep themselves afloat for as long as possible, which is till the end of this half. And if they continue to play like this, they will be able to do that, or else it's not gonna be happening. But for now, we've got the side of Force One on an eco, except for Rafa, who's got a Hero Vandal and enough money to buy into the next round. And Knight Rider, with his knives trying to creep up towards mid. He's gonna be detected by that alarm bot any second now, but he doesn't even care. He just wants to find map control.
He's just so brave. He's almost reached the defender spawn. And the funny part is, he doesn't stop moving, and even XO don't care. They're completely fine with letting him be there. Now, this could be good. I mean, Knight Rider can stop all the rotations from the defenders if the timing is right, and now the rotations will start to come in because the B player has fallen, so that's their opening. They need to move in, and Knight Rider coming in from this spot will make Ghost very uncomfortable. Falls back to the side, and of course Knight Rider up in the air will deal with the other jet. The showstopper. That's gonna stop everyone from coming through.
You are divided.
But take a look at where the spike is. It's going on A. Scargod is planting the spike on A. What?
Wait,
What on earth is going on? This is such a comical round.
Okay. Rafa just blew up the ultimate in his face when he was trying to shoot it towards defender side spawn. That's why he's down to 32 HP. And Scargod. Okay, this is really turning out to be a really bad round. What have they done? They need to go in for the defuse right now, and if they do, they're gonna get it, EXO. Force One, what have you done?
They're checking all the angles, they're being really careful. They still think that there's some people on A main. This is a free round that F1 Esports just gave up.
No, you don't deserve my attention.
What? Okay, wait. Let me just get this straight. Yeah, let me just get this straight. Right. So Force One actually got 2 kills towards B. They let Knight Rider creep up towards mid. He went all the way towards defender side spawn and found Ghost, right? Rafa found Sai when even though he was being pulled into the gravity wall. B side blown open. Scargod, for some reason, thought it was a great idea to go plan on A when the defender side people, that is EXO, are actually on the defensive side of the line. So they realized that sooner than his own teammates did, and they couldn't rotate because EXO were holding them off at the same time as being closer to the A site, and it just blew up in the. It's like they imploded the plan into their own hands.
Exactly. Nitrida's position on mid was supposed to be the one that stops the rotations of XO, but no, it enables them instead, and now XO stop F1 from rotating back to the correct site, using their own momentum against them.
I don't even know what to say. It could have been a beautiful thrifty round from Force One if they had just taken care of the B side all by themselves, but
Placing sentry.
too late. Just far too late. Scar
And now they
God.
take no chances. They're all just sending people down B corridors.
Yeah.
They tried to keep up mid just like last time. But hey, at least one good thing came out of that round, huh? They know that EXO is never going to contest them mid. They just placed the alarm bot over there and they just stayed. That's pretty much it. Lockdown is being forced by the Hunter Scooty, but the lockdown would be destroyed.
Okay.
Ace X still hold the crossing angles, but the Nimbler will allow the players of F1 to move inside, triple into the site, and to even find a couple of bonus frags on top of it. That's like a cherry on the cake. Now let's see if this cake will actually be digested, or if EXO are able to make this retake where I can just pull it out of their tummies, punch in the gut, and then leave them crippled. Scally coming in from B main. That's gonna blind Rafa and an easy kill onto him. More to follow from Market, but they're being pulled in. Excalibur with a second. Oh, this is turning out to be very tricky. 3 versus 3 now. The odds are even, and there's plenty of time for the side of EXO to make this work. This retake is nearly complete. Shibi, the last man standing, has no utility. He's trapped in the black side, and he needs to isolate 1v1s. This is ridiculous. EXO are able to pull off a 3 versus 5 clutch. How do they do this again and again?
I have no idea, but Excali, what a beautiful play from him. He made sure that he got those 2 kills. And he got a 3rd as well on the back of it. Blackhawk to add on to it, and finally, a round where the initiator and controller composition works out to the best of their abilities. Smokes, flashes, everything perfectly placed and perfectly executed. Number 5 for EXO now. And I really hope they don't give up this lead, because that's what happened last time, Crips. And if they do it again, it's going to be yet again the same story. It's just the same way that Force One are making EXO sweat. They're making them breathe heavy, and they're making them think about everything twice. And I don't think EXO have the luxury to do that right now.
This is a surprisingly slow round from F1. I mean, they usually enter the site at the 1 minute mark, but now there's like 10 seconds left in there, and all the utility from Team EXO is keeping them away from these sites. But hey, at least they're managing to boil out the utility from EXO, so maybe this will make it easier for Force One when the actual execute comes through. Maybe this is just a ruse. Excali though, he has no intention to letting this one go. They're creeping into the B side. They've got plenty of room under their control, but they're just not able to get in the water. Everyone from the back side is just so precise with their phantoms. And RBK's been pulled in. He's been made vulnerable. And he still gets the frag onto Ghost. Now that's big. Unfortunately, Sai knows everything. He pre-fires all the corners, and RBK has to pick up the spike, win this 1v3, and he's been cornered. He knows the moment he's gonna plant this spike, that's gonna be it. He's gonna be trapped. So he wants to pick up a couple of fights before he goes in. Oh, his position's known. They can see the bottom of the spike right there. They know he's gonna peek inside again with the pre-fires.
EXO, another beautifully executed retake. And with the backline hold of Ghost and his teammate Wimp, both of them did a pretty good job of holding it down to the lines. And yeah, like you said, Cribs, they couldn't even enter the water because from the side, I remember the meme that, you know, that hello, I am under the water is what I think Ghost was screaming. I am already under. He's a shark. He's a shark. Ghost is a shark, and he attacks from under the water.
Please don't start humming the Jaws theme right now.
You know, for your advantage, I'm gonna say I actually don't know the Jaws theme.
Good thing. It's not a very good score anyway.
Hey, but I know Shark Tank, okay? I know Shark Tank.
Yeah, we all know you're a business tycoon. Oh, but RBK is a tycoon of his own. Can he survive this one though? Yes, he can. The turret makes sure that nobody can follow up, but ScarGod, he's the true liberator over here, getting all those kills. They're creeping in towards the tree and the gardens area. They're about to wrap around from Heavens, but they don't even need support from the guy on Heavens. Night Rider alone is enough to win the duel against Blackhawk, and that's it. Like, F1 can win all these difficult eco rounds, but they just cannot pull off wins in the full buy. Which is weird, because that's exactly what XO were doing in Haven.
Yeah, I don't even know how they won this. ScarGod just swang out towards A short, and he just sprayed down two people with that Spectre. RVK found one towards B main with his Sheriff. And they trust him so much, dude. He was alone towards B main. And they just trusted him to go find a kill with nothing but a pistol. And he did it. And he was alive as well.
What a madman.
Yeah, crazy. Second on the board, finally, for Force 1, as we have a buy on both ends. But Ghost is pretty much of a glass cannon right now. No armor, but the operator is still available. And this time he's towards mid. He spotted at the barrel of Rafa. He's looking and waiting, and he's gonna get the kill. What a beautiful shot and dash. And now Rafa.
Yeah.
And he's gonna have to make something work.
And he got the kill of the ScarGod out of them all. The controller, which means they won't have anyone to cut off lines of sight. I mean, sure, they can still make it work on the basis of just pure aim, but how often does that happen without your controller? They've got the Hunter's Fury, which should be enough to clear out the more common angles of the ace site if anyone does get tagged with this Owl Drone. And that's Whip. Oh, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. You have Rafa also just jumping in at the same time, but he'll be killed by Xgali. Shivi does manage to get a kill in the end, but what good is it? His teammates are dead, and now he's the last man standing. Two more people revealed with the recon dot, but it is just useless information. What will you do with it? Absolutely nothing, says Sai as he shuts them down. 7-2. This is a lot more one-sided than every other map that we've seen so far, haven't we?
Yeah. This has been probably the most separated scoreline between the two teams so far. It's been 6-6, and this is the first time that we're gonna see a disparity in the first half of 7-5 at the bare minimum, if not more, because there's still 3 rounds to go, Crips, and EXO could probably take all of them, or lose all of them for all it's worth. But right now, they look like they're on top of things, and right now we can see a really heavy A push coming in. A lot of Astro utility being dumped out towards this A main by the defensive side, and here comes the attacking side utility. There's a Killjoy ultimate, and there's the lockdown to try and keep them off the side, but there's nothing that EXO are gonna be doing to get it off over here. They're just gonna hold on for as long as possible because they want this, and they want this bad.
Oh, Rafa, Liberator. Everyone's been pulled in by the gravity builds, and Xgali made vulnerable. He needs the backup of Sai, who's just playing on the back of those smokes. But the moment they expire, Xgali will be left on his own, down under. You have Ghost also trying to jump up and trying to provide some backup, but Whip is able to currently make things work. This side take has been absolutely denied. There were so many things wrong with this one. First of all, the lockdown, completely useless. The Hell area was still available for the side of Team XO. Xgali and Blackhawk both could stand in there. And the moment Xgali got in trouble, you see how many players jumped to his rescue? You have Sai peeking out from the smokes, Ghost jumping up and using his Blade Storm. Everything to make sure that Xgali is alive under Heavens, because that's the one player that they have spotted out. As long as they keep him alive, the pressure will still be maintained, and that allows Wimp to make his play from tree.
Yeah. And now they've got the ultimate lockdown for themselves, EXO. They're not going to be shy to use it, but right now, they're going for an aggressive A push. Or at least an aggressive A peek, which Sai is going to make good use of. Gets the first kill. Our Ghost is still holding on to that angle. He's hoping for another, and he is going to get it. Dashes away to safety. He's done his job. While the rest of his team is supporting him from mid, Sai's going to pull out another one out of his bag. Make that a third. Is it gonna be? Oh my god, okay, right. He still jumps around and gets the kill with the judge, as Sai is gonna clean up his own all for himself. But RVK just as so good with that Sheriff, dude. Somebody find out what this guy has on him when he only has a shirt in his hands.
Last round
Pure
in the half.
bravery and reflexes, I guess.
I don't even know. I mean, we see him with the Vandal, we see him with the Phantom, but the confidence that he has with the Sheriff is probably 3 or 4 times more than he has a rifle in his hands.
And not just the confidence.
The aim as well.
Yeah.
I think it's the feeling of getting a potential one-tap, right? I think that's what kind of makes him to go for it more.
Get out of my way.
I mean, we all love it, but I just gotta admit, I'm so bad at it. So right now, who's not bad is Sai. Gets to tag onto one person. He's got Excalibur to support, but it's a little too aggressive for his likings. And okay, there it is. Rafa gets the ultimate out as well. 2 kills. He's probably gonna get another, but no, stopped in his tracks. That showstopper gonna be of no harm to EXO.
You are divided.
And here comes a Cosmic Divide for a safe measure, as the side of F1 have taken over the B side almost. But what they don't know is that Wimp is around the corner, and he actually misses his shots, and he's gonna go back to try and put down his lockdown, I believe, and there it is.
One enemy remaining.
Spike's been taken down, and that's it. XO. What a spanking 10-2?
Okay.
This is a very good half. We have never seen such a one-sided performance from EXO in this entire series so far. Split went into a double overtime. Haven was more or less competitive. Haven also could have gone to an overtime if things did not go well for F1 and at the very last moment. But this is something else.
Yeah, this is totally a different playbook. Looks like the one that they had before. They threw it away and said, you know what, guys, we're going to try something new. And I love it. I love this from EXO. They've been so methodical. They've been so patient with their approach. And when it's time to be aggressive, it's been controlled aggressiveness. It's been controlled aggression. And they've made it work. Now with the pistol yet again, we've got Knight Rider with the Sheriff as he's trying to peek B. But EXO are making moves towards A.
Split approach from the side of EXO. Spike still on high mid, so they're not committing just yet. They're just sending 2 players on each side. In fact, they're not even sending them on B. They're just holding the B link area, which is good because we have F1 who are trying to take matters into their own hands, pushing out on mid. Ding onto the head of Rafa, but he returns with a frag. And unfortunately, he can't be healed, but that's completely okay because information also needed. Scargod, he's been trapped in this corner. He's taken all the shock darts to his face, but he takes a kill and a dink before he finally goes down. So the overall HP advantage still lies on the side of F1. And now they've got RBK, the danger man, with the classic bursts onto Ghost's head. Sai finally trades him out, and that's the opening they were looking for. They've got the A side in control. Spike will be planted. But both of them are initiators. Are there any flashes left on the sky? I don't think so. They won't need them because the Sova diff comes through from Sai. And now the HP advantage has been neutralized and Sai runs and guns onto Knight Rider. What on earth is happening?
Okay, EXO completely turning this round on its back. It looked like they were almost about to get it, Force 1. But it's gonna be EXO as Rafa trying to be a tabletop, a spinning tabletop for that. Is just gonna give up his life. It's like, you know, when what's that called in the park? You know, when we were younger. Like when was it merry-go-round? Was it? Yeah. Wasn't it merry-go-round?
I never participated on that stupid shit.
Really? Hey, everybody had a childhood on the merry-go-round where, you know, you got all dizzy and fell down and probably broke your head.
I was busy falling off the slides.
Okay, so you're one of the high-rise guys, huh?
Yeah, I like my kick of adrenaline.
Okay, fair enough. But right now, the adrenaline looks like it's resting with EXO. 11-2 up they are, and it looks like it might just be 12-2 given the state of things. Rafa, looking like he wants to push up mid through that smoke. Wise decision to hold it on, but he's gonna get spotted out anyway, and he's gonna get spammed down. Has to peek out. Gives away his life, and Knight Rider gonna push up and give up his own. And slowly but surely, this has to be the end of Force 1 here, Crips, isn't it?
Last player standing.
Unless you can pull off a clutch, RBK.
1v5.
He's gotten all the way into its A heavens, which is something that I wouldn't have expected him to do. Didn't think he would get here, but hey, it's not much that he can do at this point. I mean, there's a 1v5, 30 HP. Sheriff versus Spectres and Phantoms. Ghost even buys the Phantom. in the second round, just so that he can confirm this round. That's a risky situation, a risky buy in any other circumstance, but
Ooh.
that's good. And here's the funny thing, if RVK jumps down mid, there's someone waiting to knife him. That's probably not a good get. But RVK is still very precise. Another one? Okay, at this point, RVK is just racking up his skill points. Yeah, this is just stat padding right now. Stop blowing my mind! RVK, if this was a full-blown clutch, I would have taken off my hat if I had one and tipped it in his favor. But even after those stylish frags, he can't clutch out the round. But hey, those were some really nutty shots now, weren't they?
Match point.
RVK. Okay. All right. You of course you do that.
My ult's not ready.
Okay. 4 shots, 4 kills. Completely baffled the opponent. And this is why he's known as the king of the sheriff. It doesn't matter that EXO won the round. They were torn apart, humiliated by a man with 30 HP and a pistol.
I mean, to be fair, EXO were just trying to hunt him down for fun's sake. But this is a very fast approach now. Okay then. Looks like EXO won't be getting their sweet cigar just yet. They will have to wait a little bit for victory. Cyan Wimp, though, still alive and spike in his hands. Rafa so sharp. Not just with the aim, but also with the movement.
Oh my lord, okay. That was a push and a half from Force 1. They tried to throw EXO off guard, and they did. So we've got another round on the board for them, but far from what you would call a comeback. Not even a fight at this point. They just need to find scraps. One by one, look for whatever they can. Right now, that is the side of EXO on an eco. That's one scrap at the bottom of the barrel that they need to keep digging for. And then maybe hope for something. But, you know, it's just that thing that we've seen a comeback against Force 1 happen on 12-2. Why can't they do it, right?
Yeah, comebacks are always on the menu.
Most certainly
Vimp has a hero vandal. Okay, this could be interesting. Let's see if he's able to make this one work, though. RVK still fighting towards this short angle on tree. Oh, Nanostorm's activated. No entry for them just yet. Oh, he dashes inside and Ghost is able to get him. But Knight Rider goes beyond him, forcing him to turn 180 degrees, and that's not enough.
Wimp. 1v4. Are you going to be as potent as the Killjoy on the other side? No, the smoke fades out at the right time for Rafa to blow him away. As it's going to be a 4th round. And now it's going to be a matter to consider because the buy for EXO is not going to be that great. Look at their money. It's a little less than 4 grand. So they're going to be forced onto a little bit of a scattered buy yet again. Half armor, a Spectre. I don't like this from EXO. This is potentially another round that they could be throwing away, Crips. And as clean as their record was in the first half and the first 2 rounds that they got in the second half, I don't think that they want to be giving away any more rounds. I'm pretty sure they want to finish this off as soon as possible.
Yeah, you're right about that. Nobody likes lengthy, drawn-out matches. Definitely not EXO. Take a look at their pace. This is so fast. Preemptive lockdown will be put down, but the Hunter's Fury might just break it. Oh, it does. They know who all are towards the B side. They know this is going to be a 2-man affair, but Shivi's been taken care of, leaving RVK all by himself. And if he's good with the Sheriff, he has to be good with the Phantom, but only for one. Very fast dash. Knight Rider is able to execute Sai before Ghost can shut him down. But Scargod now knows where Wimp is. If he pre-fires this angle, this could be great. But no, he has too many angles to check, and Wimp is able to get this one.
Scargod. He possibly had the opportunity to get that clutch coming in. He had the potential, but EXO were just too quick on the trade. They were too quick on the trigger, and they were just too quick to win this one out. 13-4 on the back of a scrappy buy, and they make it work. 2-1. The series goes to Team EXO, and they've already done better than what they did in the playoffs last season. They're going further in the upper brackets, and they are going to be facing Reckoning Esports in the day to come. And the thing about that matchup, Crips, is that I don't know if we're gonna expect anything, but I really think it's gonna be a little bit more of a nail-biting match than this one is. We could see potentially maybe 2 overtimes, 3 overtimes, who knows, on all 3 maps against Reckoning and EXO. But hey, for now, EXO can sigh of relief because they have made their way to the upper brackets further on, and they're gonna be exploring new options this time and new avenues. Whereas Force One, they're going to go to the lower brackets and they're going to have to fight for their lives. As we look at the match highlights to see how exactly EXO completely dominated this map start to finish.
10-2 half. That's all you need. There were some lapses in attention from the side of F1 and EXO as well. Both of these teams had their fair share of mistakes. But then what's surprising is that every time EXO miss a beat, every time they don't check a corner, somehow F1 are just not able to punish it. This was a recurring trend for the entirety of the first half. Like, take a look at how many times the players of EXO just don't give a damn and start moving into the side without checking all the angles. Like, Ghost, he was the only one responsible for shutting down, Chibi in that corner. Could have gotten a lot more kills than what was possible. But then take a look at this round. It was a 3v5 in the favor of Force One. EXO, 2 men down, but they still are able to win this. So, sure, yeah, EXO were losing their players at the start. F1 was able to make things right. But Team XO, they bring it back. XO are able to stop F1 Esports from venturing any further down the track, and they're able to recover from their mistakes, which is a very, very cool ability. Not a lot of teams have this one.
Yeah, that is true. Force One, I don't know what exactly happened, but they let their foot off the gas and they have had to give away this map. The final one that could have probably allowed them to make a beautiful comeback happen and make it all the way to the upper bracket playoffs further on, but it's not going to happen. EXO have put in a beautiful performance and they deserve it, honestly, on the backs of what they just showed us. Every single round on their defensive half was just amazing. The 2 that they lost out, it's okay. Those were just, almost like a compensation for what they were trying to do differently. But yeah, EXO, they have made sure that they are not to be trifled with in Ascent. And we didn't know what was going to happen. We were expecting another neck-and-neck match, Crips, but it's been a landslide. And this is definitely something I did not expect. And I don't think you did either.
Yeah, definitely I did not. It was a landslide, and F1 Esports got buried underneath. There were so many rounds where F1 thought they'd be able to make their sheriff sing, but the only thing we saw was one posthumous clutch from RVK. It wasn't even a clutch per se, it was just a bunch of stylish shots with no cigar at the end of it. So XO, they were able to stop F1 from ever getting out of hand, and they kept them humble. They kept that economy in check, forcing F1 to go for those weird force buys again and again with Spectres and Sheriffs. And not too many rounds came through when F1 had all the weaponry that they wanted. So you keep that in check, you'll be able to make sure that you win it nice and clean. The first 2 maps, definitely a little bit sweaty, but the third one, oh, this was a stomping.
Yeah, it was a stomping indeed, and it's a lot to take in. And we're going to have a look at the brackets now, ladies and gentlemen, just to see how exactly things are going to turn out, as we are going to have really interesting matches coming up, Crips. Spicy stuff here. Reckoning and EXO, a match that I'm definitely going to be looking forward to. And we have another one in the lower bracket for the survival of their life in this tournament. True Rippers versus Force One. And now we have another match coming up in some time. And this in about a half an hour, I believe. Enigma versus Valor. And the winner of that is going to face Velocity. And the loser of that is going to face Global. So I don't really know what is better here, winning or losing. Because either way, you're going to face a Juggernaut that's probably going to beat you down hard.
Yeah. Enigma versus Valor up next. What do you think is going to happen at that time?
Yeah, I'm not too sure about what's going to happen, but I do believe that it's going to be yet another nail-biting game. Enigma have had their roster issues. Badman's not in the picture anymore. He's been cut off the family photo, so they're going to have a bit of a problem. We know that High on Life has joined recently, and he's shown a little bit of promise, but not too much. And that's going to cause them a little bit of issue in terms of keeping the site together, as a Sentinel's absence always causes disruption. And Valor, this is their best chance to take it up. And we're going to see it all in just a few minutes, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be back shortly with the TC Gauntlet Season 2 powered by WD Black and AMD Ryzen Radeon. Do not go anywhere, as Enigma Gaming and Valor are coming up next in about half an hour.